overtime, and then we fall into another hole, and we dig out of it. When you on another team's floor and you get that extra period, you got to come out strong. You got to come out sharp and try to jump out ahead of them so you can, almost play with a lead because the energy is behind them, the crowd is behind them. I think most teams get the benefit of the doubt at home. And, it's important to get off to a good start in overtimes. And the first overtime, we definitely didn't. And then the second one, maybe if the first minute was okay. I don't think either team really did much in the first minute, but we fought and came up short.
What's up, everybody? Sorry, as I was getting everything loaded up here, we're live on Twitch, we're live on Twitter Live, we're live on Twitter Spaces. Just threw Damian Lillard on in the background just to hear if he had anything to say regarding what we just witnessed in what was easily the game of the playoffs and the postseason. What's going on? You are in Radio Roulette right now. Y'all know the drill. Start off with just a couple words on that game, and certainly appreciate the Los Angeles Lakers just getting their doors blown off there so we could all focus on the NBA TV game. Where to start? First thing that comes to mind, of course, everyone is talking about is why can't Damian Lillard ever get any help? Well, to be honest, he signed up for this, guys. He's always in these post-game press conferences saying or telling Paul George, y'all are scared of the grind. I ride with my guys. He's going to ride with his guys. There is no free Dame. He signed a giant contract extension with Portland to play with these guys. He's going to be eating up 33% of the salary cap for the next half decade. He's going to be playing with these guys. So don't give me the free Dame shit. He asked for this, okay? And he walked the walk after talking the talk. But he also did ask, he did request that I'm willing to go to war with the guys that I got. And you know what? This is what happened tonight. Let's talk positively about Damian Lillard. In 52 minutes played. 52 minutes, 55 points on 17 of 24 shooting, 12 of 17 from three-point land, and most importantly, one measly turnover. One in 52 minutes played. They caught the loss, all right? So the bigger story here is how the Denver Nuggets somehow pulled us out in 2 overtimes, but just want to give Damian Lillard his flowers real quick. First NBA player ever, whether it's the postseason or regular season, to put up 50, 10, and 10 three-pointers. And there were 3 there. When they were down 9 in overtime, that game was over. That game felt over. And Monte Morris missed a wide-open layup, which opened the door to the opportunity. But there was even more impressive than the game-tying 3 was the one when they were down by 9 points. I think it was 9 exactly. When Damian Lillard had 3 guys on him, he passed out of it, did some step-back shit around Nikola Jokic from about 32 feet away. He had to pass the ball twice. He found and he caught and shoot after just doing absolutely everything. It looked like Ray Allen out there trying to get open to get the ball, and he got it up and in, and it barely hit net on its way through. Just absolutely perfect. But the Denver Nuggets did win the game. And if it wasn't for Monte Morris missing that layup, he absolutely busted their ass. And when I say they, I mean Portland. He absolutely busted Portland's ass, y'all, in that overtime stretch. That's why Monte Morris, as Mike Malone just said in his post-game press conference, that's the reason why Monte Morris got that big contract extension from Denver. He not only fits into this system, but he is the most worthy of backups, arguably, in the NBA now. And again, backup point guards. He was awesome. And finally, Michael Porter, you want to see Michael Porter Jr. probably get up even more than 13 total shots if we're playing 2 overtimes. But you can't say anything against 10 of 13 shooting. 26 points from him. Jokic did his thing. He even missed a ton of shots there in the fourth quarter. But good enough on 38, 11, and 9. And that's a bad night for the MVP. That's why he's the MVP, by the way. He has a bad night. 38, 11, and 9. The story, as always, for these Portland Trailblazers is why can't they get a stop when it matters the most? Why does it always have to be Dame going Clark Kent and ripping off the suit and tie to reveal the Superman required for Portland to win close games? And this is nothing new for any Blazers fan listening to this right now. It's been like this every single game this season. Y'all have heard me rant about this time and time again. The burden that's on Damian Lillard's shoulders. And granted, they've got CJ McCollum. They got Carmelo Anthony. They got 3 fire starters. Just the amount of pressure and the level of which he has to play in when you're giving up so many buckets around the rim and open corner threes throughout the game. How do you ever expect to win a title playing that way? Damian Lillard is so good that he almost single-handedly won you this game. But Yusuf Nurkic going out, 24 minutes, 6 personal fouls, was game over right there. As it's always been. You can't survive without Nurkic. Lillard is the best, might be the most talented player in this series. Nikola Jokic may be the best player in this series. Yusuf Nurkic is arguably the most important player in this series because of his ability to defend Nikola Jokic and keep him from going nuclear the same way Damian Lillard did tonight. And Nurkic did a really good job of it there for the first 3 quarters until he got in that 4th foul with 8:22 left, and Terry Stotts decides to go to Enes Kanter instead of Rondé Hollis-Jefferson. Now, I have to give them credit because they did survive it, and in technically those minutes, the Blazers were ahead. But we all saw the way those minutes went. I mean, there were a couple missed shots around the rim and Jokic wide open threes that he just couldn't make. Kanter looked like Bambi on ice. And whether it was the correct decision or not, in this case, it probably was because they extended the lead. But they just lose any sort of ability to stop Nikola Jokic over the course of 4 quarters plus 2 overtimes if Nurkic isn't out on the floor defending him. They can't ever get a stop when it matters. And even when they play good defense, there's a difference. Remember, the Portland Trailblazers can play good defense and force a bad shot. But you also have to get the ball and close out the possession to actually complete it. And just like the entire season, Portland did not do it. Damian Lillard's brilliance will always be the Band-Aid over Portland's current problems. Because after Yusuf Nurkic, name me one guy that's on the Portland Trailblazers roster as a part of the rotation that is even technically a big man. They had to put Robert Covington, who fouled out himself, playing the 5 to guard Nikola Jokic. It's personnel. It's defensive schemes. It's all the above with this Portland team. I know you're probably coming in here trying to talk about how great Damian Lillard was. He's been doing this now for years. It's almost an expectation at this point. We take this shit for granted that it requires this good of a performance to appreciate that he does something like this almost every single night. Just because they're playing on a Wednesday night against the Orlando Magic, Damian Lillard's hitting all of these ridiculous shots, and he did it when CJ McCollum went down during the regular season. There was a 2.5-week stretch in which no one really was watching Portland Trailblazers games, let's be honest. But this same shit that we saw tonight was the reason why Damian Lillard exploded to the forefront of the MVP conversation. I even take him for granted. It is expected now. But Portland as a team, will never win anything when there's this much pressure on one man on offense and one man on defense. Why is it that seemingly everyone else on the court feels irrelevant and part of a system that is just doomed to fail? Portland should have lost this game 4 different times. You give the Nuggets credit. A team that had to watch their soul ripped out of their chest twice and stomped in front of them. Still win it in double overtime. That's a team that's been there before. It's a team that has been in this foxhole, fighting the Clippers in these same type of games, coming back from those deficits. If there is one team that is what is dead may never die, the epitome of what is dead may never die, it's the Denver Nuggets these past 2 seasons. That also should not surprise anyone, that they still won this game. Just awesome basketball all around. And Austin Rivers giveth, Austin Rivers taketh away. Austin Rivers gives you some great defense, but then he gets whistled for the foul. Austin Rivers hits a big 3. Double overtime. There was all of the possessions there to start each overtime period were either Monte Morris 3, which he doesn't usually shoot threes very often, but he did tonight. Austin Rivers 3. Austin Rivers getting to the bucket. Those 2 guys were great. And it feels like an eternity ago, by the way, that we were sitting here watching them rule that a foul So let's go through that real quick before I start taking calls here. We'll get to the Lakers Suns too. I'm just going to go straight to the calls instead of talking about Lakers Suns because the Lakers don't deserve my attention tonight with that performance. So the Austin Rivers foul obviously was super, super touchy, right? We can all agree on that. But they go to the monitor and they rule that the foul occurred before the shot, so it's side out. But isn't that the worst option possible? Because if you go to review and deem that it wasn't a foul, doesn't Portland still get the ball side out anyway? Did it even matter? But here's the problem with making that call was because even if you were right or wrong, you gave Portland a free timeout because you had to go review it, and they were able to draw up something to get Damian Lillard open. That was the biggest problem with that. They were never going to give him 3 free throws after the review, but they gave Terry Stotts the opportunity to pull out that whiteboard and draw up an ATO. That's the reason why people yell at officiating all the time, is because there is collateral damage whether you end up making the right call or not. Michael Malone was asked after the game, why did you not foul Damian Lillard once or twice? Why did you sit there and watch him do it to you multiple times? And his answer was that Damian Lillard gets the ball up so quickly that you don't want to risk the and one, which he what he technically got, and he would have gotten if Denver didn't have their challenge in their pocket. So he proved it to you right there why you don't foul in those situations. And granted, there's probably 2 guys on planet Earth, Steph Curry and Damian Lillard, that, yeah, it makes a lot of sense, but you probably should foul them because those 2 guys, if they're in the gymnasium somewhere, it's a good shot. Whether it's 30 feet or 90 feet. So Mike Malone's strategy of we don't want to stick our hand in there and have Damian Lillard, who is super smart with the basketball, be in the upwards motion, and then it's all negated. And oh, by the way, if you foul on the 3, you still got to get the damn rebound. Let's not act like it's a guarantee. And then all sorts of shit happens if Damian Lillard makes both free throws, misses the 3rd on purpose, and then gets the rebound, and they win the game right there on either a foul or a putback or something else. You're assuming, everyone's screaming, why don't you foul? Why don't you foul? Why don't teams ever foul? There's a time and place. You don't want to foul that good of a free throw shooter who makes every single one that he takes. In that case, you want to foul someone that has their back turned to the... If you're going to foul, you foul someone who has their back turned to the rim with no chance to get the shot up, and a free throw shooter that is not the best in the league like Damian Lillard is. That's the explanation for it. I can live with that all day. If Damian Lillard wants to make 2 straight unreal threes, of which even Damian Lillard, who might be considered the best in the league, including Steph Curry, at making those, is still 40%. And 40% times 40% is what? Comes out, I don't do math that well. What is that? Like still 17.5 total percent that he makes both of those, and it's Dame? I'm living and dying by that all day. I think Mike Malone made the right decision not to foul. And you saw what would have happened if they tried and Austin Rivers actually went for it. He would have gotten 3 free throws out of it. It's easy to say, why didn't you foul after it's over? Let's go to the phones. Y'all know the drill. Request. Wave at me if you're there. Don't say anything stupid or I'll cut you off. Any Blazers fans? We'll get to Lakers Suns a little bit later. I don't think it's really necessary to lead the show with that. So let's talk, wave at me if you want to talk Nuggets Blazers. Nolan, what's up, sir?
Hey.
What's on your mind, my friend?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can.
All right. Nuggets fan here, and you're, like you said, you got to hand it to Dame. And just seeing that, watching, when he hit that shot to bring it to second OT, I just thought, I was like, there's no way we win this. So I mean, hats off to him. And you're right. We do take it for granted. And it's just, watching, I'm just thinking, well, here we go. He's going to make another three, and that's it.
You feel like every single one of them is going in. And there's only so many players in the league you can say that about. It's Steph, it's KD. I don't even think it's LeBron at this point in his career. You can count him on one hand from three-point land that Dame gets the ball up no matter where it is, no matter how many guys are on him. That's just the way that it comes off his fingertips. You're not even looking at the defense that's being played. You're just assuming. No. And I could certainly understand at this point, Nuggets fans are just, why are we letting him get the ball? I wish it was easier to answer that question. They could have quadruple teamed him, I guess, and just created a ring of fire around him. But
well, like you said, I agree with what Malone did.
Hey, Nolan, can you put the mic a little bit closer to your mouth?
Yeah, I was going to say I agree with what Malone did. What else are you going to do in that situation? You can't, fouling is not a good idea. And you're just going to have to, I guess, deal with it and hope you can make shots on the other end.
And the only thing I guess you can recommend is you don't guard the inbounds pass and you double team Dame with that guy, which they may have been shading him that way anyway. But remember, the NBA has a rule in place that if you are like dogging him, if you are all up in his business and you foul him, then it's one free throw shot and the ball. So let's not act like you can just rough him up and put him at the line. Dame has been in those situations more times, arguably, than anybody this season, and he knows exactly how to draw fouls in any type of scenario. So, of course, we look back on it now, he made the shots, but if I'm Mike Malone, I'm sitting there like, if he's going to make those twice, we're just going to have to kind of live with it if he gets the ball in his hand. Certainly, they could have done some more. Maybe, it's going to sound crazy, but if you're going to have somebody on the ball, I'm going to go back and watch the replay as you're talking, but if you're going to have somebody on the ball, what is the point of having Bobo on your roster? Just stand him there the same way they used to put Boban under the rim so that you couldn't physically pass the basketball through him. Like, make his inbounding a living hell. And that's why Bobo was on the roster. So it's kind of an insane suggestion, but it's not. So that's where I stand.
What are your thoughts on the rest of the series? Do you think Portland wins Game 6 and then we go back to Game 7, or do you think Denver kind of tilted it here?
Nothing would surprise me at this point. It could be a blowout. It could be a close game. These two teams look to be extremely evenly matched. But if you're a Denver Nuggets fan and you saw what you got from Monte Morris and Michael Porter Jr. tonight, those are going to be the two guys that are going to have to support Nikola Jokic in terms of putting the basketball through the rim. I don't know what Aaron Gordon is giving you other than good defense right now and hitting the glass. There's certainly a time and place for that, but someone eventually has to give you some shots. And watching Marcus Howard make those threes in the first half, by the way, that man led the nation in scoring at Marquette. And it's clear as to why, because those were some much needed bench points from a team in which was hardly getting any. And real quick, as I'm watching the replay talking to you, they had Nikola Jokic guarding the ball, okay? Jokic, the most unathletic person on the entire floor, was guarding the ball without shading any way, guarding Robert Covington. That is probably the biggest mistake of all right there. Because what's the purpose of that? Jokic just standing there doing nothing. He's just watching. He's not playing zero defense. So that would be my only critique of should you foul, should you not? It shouldn't have even been the case in which you were defending 4-on-4. That was a wasted defender and a wasted move on Mike Malone's part there. But Jokic certainly made up for it, by the way, with that cross-court dime pass, which is going to get lost in translation because of what Dame was doing, guys. There is the timestamp on that goes to, it's 140 to 140, and this actually ended up being the game-winning shot. 133 is the timestamp in the second overtime. Nikola Jokic throws a pass from a double team. Granted, we know he's the best passing big man, arguably the best passer in the entire league. He's got two guys on him, and he drops a dime over Robert Covington that is not only so perfect, it makes Covington fall over trying to jump up and get it. And I mean an absolute floater ball right into the breadbasket of Porter Jr. in the corner. Only one guy can really make that pass from that position because, one, he's tall enough, and two, the touch, the finesse on that is just taken for granted the same way that we do with Dame. So we saw the best characteristics and traits of all these players shining in these overtime periods tonight. It was Jokic's passing, it was Dame's clutchness, and 3-point shooting from the outside. Thanks for the call, Nolan. Who's out there? I think waivers are getting sent to the front of the line here. Got a 300. I'm going to let this guy in. 300 level season ticket holder for the Nuggets. Nosebleed Nugs. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
And you must be feeling pretty good tonight.
Honestly, I did not enjoy one bit of that game. That was one of my least favorite games I've ever watched.
Well, at least you won it. If it was your least favorite game, it could be worse. Would you rather lose and have it be your favorite game?
No, absolutely not. But it was one of the most stressful games I've ever sat through. We were all talking. Me and my roommates were like, "Oh, we're glad this is, a 7 p.m. Mountain Time game, so we don't have to stay up till 10:30, 11 o'clock on a work night." But here we are.
Now you're here venting about it at 1 a.m. Eastern, so welcome. And I don't know if you were at the game or not, but there was like three. This game in particular was a movie with a sequel and a sequel after it. It felt like I was watching a trilogy because the first 4 quarters were the epitome of, I'm sorry, like what described those first 4 quarters really had nothing to do with the overtimes. Whether it was there were a lot of calls, a lot of foul calls that were being made there, which I'm sure Nuggets fans were starting to get a little upset about. Jokic wasn't getting the whistle on an end. Of course, that's always going to be different in every single game, but it really turned into a point in which, in the overtimes, that Damian Lillard scores every single bucket except for one, and his teammates go like 1 of 19 in the two, something like that, 1 of 18 or whatever it was in the 2 overtime periods. While the Nuggets are still struggling to score, and you've got guys like Monte Morris and Michael Porter Jr. having to carry the load as Nikola Jokic is catching these double teams even before he catches the damn ball. Sorry, that was a lot of talking, but any questions, any thoughts that you have, feel free to share them.
Yeah, what do you think about, I didn't really love Jokic getting after it in that 4th quarter late in the game. It felt like he was too tired, taking a lot of bad shots. I mean, a lover guy, but at the end of the game, he was falling short in a lot of those shots. What do you think about him trying to take over the game when he's, 40-plus minutes into it?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a relief for him just because Nurkic wasn't out there for pretty much the entire second half and the overtime period. So that's a plus. Having Canner on you at any point in the game makes life a lot easier. But I can call out about 3 Sombor shuffles, one of which was from the corner, and if it went in, I was going to shit myself. It was at the buzzer with the shot clock winding down. If that one went in, I was going to turn the television off. But he was put into those situations a couple of times tonight, which was very much my biggest beef with the New York Knicks, that they just give it to their best guy with 4 seconds on the shot clock and say, "Save me." And that happened a couple times tonight, and Jokic wasn't able to save him down the stretch. I don't know if anybody in that case could save him if Jokic couldn't, but who's going to initiate this offense when the Blazers actually lock down and are able to prevent you from getting to the rim within the first 20 seconds? It's always just going to be Jokic down on that block having to do something ridiculous. And he made, if it wasn't him shooting tonight, to your point, he did make up for it with that unbelievable pass. So he found a way, which is ultimately all that matters.
Of course. And kind of bouncing off that, you were talking about a second ago, Aaron Gordon, in my eyes, obviously he's been amazing on the defensive end, but I expected so much more from him offensively coming into that trade. I just thought we'd be utilizing more, especially with Jokic's passing. I thought I saw at least 15 ESPN top 10 alley-oop kind of situations by now. We really haven't got any of that. He cuts to the basket well sometimes, but doesn't really get much respect on the perimeter.
Yeah, let's thanks for the call, dude. Let's not forget that before Jamal Murray went down, the best lineup in the NBA, efficiency wise, points, you name it, the number 1 rated lineup included Aaron Gordon. It had Jamal Murray in it, and that Nuggets team, when they were on their winning streak, they were the best lineup in the NBA, and that included the Utah Jazz at the time. And I think why that lineup was so great was because they didn't necessarily need Aaron Gordon to ever initiate the offense. And now that he's out there with Campazzo and Austin Rivers, and it's not the Murray-Jokic pick and roll, which has been made famous at this point, Aaron Gordon's getting the ball in his hands a lot more, and it's not in his hands when he's attacking the offensive glass or slashing. It's kind of just, with the game slowing down to the half court, they're asking more of him, and he's just simply not good enough to be an isolation player that can give you efficient, consistent production. You can tell every time that they're missing Murray, like when the offense is just in the mud and Jokic has to do something, or Porter Jr. hits a ridiculous three. Tonight it was Monte Morris. Monte Morris, his numbers tell you he's 7 of 18, and he missed arguably the most important shot of the entire game if it would have came back to bite him. But Monte Morris was the role that was Jamal Murray tonight. When I keep bringing up the SOS situations and it wasn't Jokic, it was Monte in that second overtime period. Who's next? Not a lot of waivers out there. We'll get to Lakers Suns, and I'll start taking those calls. Still, I'll take a couple more on Nuggets Blazers, and then we'll move on. Scrolling around looking for... Maybe people want to talk Lakers Suns. Put in 100 in the chat if you want to do Lakers Suns. Maybe that's it. Let's go to Rodney. What's up, Rodney?
What's up, Rob?
What's good with you, my friend?
Doing good. I wanted to talk Lakers. That's okay?
Sure. Why not?
Okay, thanks. All right. Rob. Okay, so AD's a phenomenal player. Don't get me wrong. But I wish we would have waited one more year for him. We would have kept our young core, kept Lonzo, kept Brandon Ingram, kept Josh Hart, kept the pick. I think that would have we would be in good seating if that happened. I thought LeBron's still an all-time great player. Like, don't get me wrong, but LeBron's like, he's not going to stay Superman forever. Like, he's not going to be able to like jump out the gym and like boom on everyone every single play. I think the series might be over. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm just depressed or I just saw campaign make too many buckets. You tell me.
Thanks for the call, Rodney. Okay, first of all, y'all, how soon did you forget that you guys won a damn title last year? I don't ever want to hear that we shouldn't trade Lonzo and those Ingrams ever again. Please. Y'all won a damn title. The series is not over. And I won't be convinced that Father Time is caught up to LeBron until I see it with my very eyes. How many times have we been here before with him? Terrible tonight, didn't show up. I bet on the Lakers tonight, so I'm in a bad mood to begin with. Maybe we should go back to Nuggets Blazers if that's the type of call we're getting. Let's go to Obi. What's up, Obi? Lakers got their break speed off so bad tonight that I got dudes in here telling me that they should have not traded Ingram and Lonzo for AD. Are you? Oh my God, man! Are y'all kidding me? Yo, that's how we're starting. That's the first Laker call? That's what the Suns did to y'all tonight?
Don't even get me started on that. That's a joke. I am Team LeBron. That's a joke. Can we go back to Blazers Nugs though?
Thank you.
Thank you. You gotta have a Blazers fan in here. That's me. I'm here for it.
Let's hear it.
My name's Obi. I'm up here in Seattle, so add that to the map. That's a unique experience in itself, being an NBA fan in this city, but another conversation for another day.
Indeed.
I need to know, am I out of pocket? I'm mad at these two people right now. I'm mad at Nurkic, and I'm mad at the refs. Am I being a homer? Am I out of pocket to be mad at the refs? I mean, obviously, Nurkic, what are you doing? 3 games? You're fouled out 3 games? You are our only big. Cantor is barbecue chicken. Why are you fouling out 3 games? It's only... So I'm frustrated with Nurkic, but I'm also kind of frustrated with these refs. Some of these fouls, that 5th foul on Nurkic, that screen on Austin Rivers, a little ticky-tacky, and then, of course, out of frustration, Nurkic comes down and smacks the ball to Gordon's hands and gets the 6, and he's out the game. Also, some of those threes that by Damian, I felt, he was calling for it. You got hit in the arm. Am I out of pocket to be a little mad at the refs on this, or am I just being a homer?
A little bit of a homer. I mean, I could get a Nuggets fan in here that has 10 examples of Jokic getting fouled tonight in which it was a very similar situation, and I am very much team no blood, no foul. And if it's ticky-tack and I got scratched when I was shooting a 3 or someone hit my wrist on the follow-through, I don't want that called either way. So I'd rather have them just bitching about it than every single time down the floor they'd have to blow the whistle if that's the case. And that's not good for the game as an objective viewer. More importantly, Nurkic, very similar to Dylan Brooks in Memphis, just there's no excuse. Like, you have to stay on the floor. Otherwise, the team loses. And Damian Lillard gives you a historic, never-before-seen performance in the playoffs, and y'all still lose? And I know Nurkic didn't have anything to do with that because he was technically sitting on the bench, but you had everything to do with that because you were sitting on the bench. You have to stay on the floor. The team relies on him his role on this Blazers team is the equivalent of what Draymond was on those Warriors dynasty death lineup teams. He's not the team's best player, but the engine doesn't run without the oil. And this defense can never, ever stop and get the ball on a rebound without him. They've showed us this all year. They got 4 tiny little guards out there, and Nurkic, who not only is the only one who boxes out, but he allows those 4 to get out in transition and do what they do best. He is an essential cog in that defense, which results in the team's offense. And without him, they're not winning another game this series. He has to stay on the floor. If that means letting Jokic maybe get 1 shot up in the second quarter that's uncontested, you know what? We'll live with it. Because if we keep playing these super tight games down the stretch, they're not winning shit without Nurkic on the floor. The only reason why it was close to begin with was because Dame went crazy. Why was it close after Dame going crazy? Because y'all were down 9 points, letting Monte Morris just run around the paint like just galloping throughout the Serengeti, because not a single player on that Nuggets roster was scared or intimidated in the paint. And they're driving kick. They're getting finishes at the rim. They're having a double team Jokic because they don't have a big man on the floor. How do you ever expect to stop someone or not give them open looks?
Facts. Just facts all around. And like I said, Cantor's barbecue chicken. Give Stotts credit for playing Nurkic a little better when he was in foul trouble. In the past couple of games, he's just been putting him back out there with 10 minutes left. Like, hey, he's at 5 fouls. What are you doing? Pump the brakes. But, man, back-to-back on offensive and a defensive, but they're 5th and 6th to get out the game is just irresponsible.
Of course, like, you don't want to hate on him for giving effort. Like, what do you want him to do? Stand there like a traffic cone? But he's got to just be smart enough to, if he's in foul trouble, you being on the floor, just your mere presence, whether you can give us 100% effort on the defensive side or not, is better than any other option out there. Like, he really is the most important player on that team. And they shouldn't have even been in that spot to begin with, in which requires Damian Lillard to go supernatural. That'll be the story. That'll be like, why can't Dame get any help? That also is a conversation for another day. But Nurkic not being out there is the explanation always for everything with this Blazers team, and why they either blow leads They can't hold leads, and they have these stints in which the game is lost. It's been like that all season, and it continues now because Canner is unplayable. And if Canner's unplayable and they're not giving Harry Giles any run and Zach and Collins isn't there, that means you're going to Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, who's picked up at the absolute death to play center for this team. And he's barely gotten any run here in these playoffs, and you're expecting him to go out there and guard the MVP? Do you all not see the reasoning in this? Just the logic on paper, why that doesn't work even before you get to the damn tape?
Yeah, I hear that, man. Hey, quick question before I go. Do I cop a ticket and go down to Game 6 on Thursday?
Of course. You
Am
stand by your team no matter what, my friend. If you can get down there and go, they're going to certainly need, if they're going to be playing defense like that, they're going to need you in the crowd with that gas. Anybody out there? Q, what's good, my friend? You're waving at me. You got to connect. There you are.
Yo, what's good?
What's up, man?
It's crazy actually getting in here, but we're still on the Nuggets, right? Nuggets Blazers.
Yeah, I'm willing to take other questions if people want to talk Lakers Suns, as long as it's not we should have kept Lonzo and Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, I won't go there. I do want to. I kind of want to just like piggyback off of this Nurkic ordeal and him being in foul trouble. Like my guy Van Gundy, who does the commentator. I feel like there's this thing with NBA players where like they overcommit to contesting shots that they will never block. And I'm having such an issue like wrapping my head around this. We see with so many players with the fouls on 3-point shots. Like, is this just not being coached? Like, I'm just so confused every time I watch this happen.
You're talking about the Blazers defense?
Well, yeah. Well, just it's kind of piggybacking off of how Nurkic is in foul trouble every game, and it comes from this point of like, when do you understand you're not going to block a shot, and sometimes just making a guy shoot a tough shot is the way to go. But I see it like in so many other games, and I'm just like so confused by at this level so many NBA players are like still doing this.
Yeah, it's certainly easier said than done, right? And Nurkic wants to play defense. I mean, granted, he has that personal rivalry with Jokic. He's the man who kicked him out of Denver. And if anyone knows how to guard him, they're friends now. It's not like they hate each other. But if anyone out there knows how to guard him, it's Nurkic. And he's done a pretty decent job of preventing him from just going off and just ending the game. But some of these Jokic shots, it's like trying to block that Dirk one-legged step-back fadeaway. Why would you ever crowd his space knowing that it's just physically impossible unless your name is Anthony Davis or Giannis Antetokounmpo? There is no human on earth that can actually block that Sombor shuffle. So you're begging Nurkic to just make his life a living hell without getting into foul trouble, but this is now several games in which Nurkic's not being on the floor in these key moments has came back to bite him. And that is always going to be the answer. Dame doesn't have it one night. Honestly, that is second place to whether Nurkic is out there guarding Jokic when it matters most. Because if he's not, the Blazers will never win for the rest of this series or in the near future.
Yeah, that's super valid. So, and I got one more question. It has to do with like, I'm looking at Dame. I'm watching Jokic, and it's kind of like grading the types of shots they set up for their teammates. And I think Dame in this series, he had like multiple games with double-digit assists. And I'm just thinking like, if in a scenario where they switch teams, like, does this series look any different? Is Jokic giving his teammates like that much better guys for really good looks as well? I'm just wondering, like, what offensive style is just better suited for, like, setting guys up? I guess the obvious answer is Jokic, but I still don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Dame setting up the Blazers' offense tonight wasn't the issue. The offense has never been the issue with Portland. The reason why they're over 500 is because they can just simply outscore you. But Jokic is the MVP for a reason, and it's not just because he has an impossible shot to guard, but he's the best passer who makes all of his teammates around him better. as I continue to talk to you, I'm just watching this pass to the corner to Michael Porter Jr. over and over again. And on the floor at the time was Aaron Gordon, who can't make anything outside of 5 feet away. Austin Rivers, who's never going to get, not even being guarded, period, in that specific play. Porter Jr. obviously is the Robin to the Batman. It's going to be all Jokic at all times, creating for his teammates and putting them in a position to succeed because they can't do it for him. So, of course, the offensive scoring is most reliant on probably Damian Lillard, but the offensive playmaking is most on Jokic. Thanks for the call, Q. Sorry, I had to drop you just because background noise. Who's out there? George. Talk to me, George. There you are.
Hey, can you hear me?
Sounds like you're driving home from the game.
I am. I was at the game.
What a guess.
Yeah, I was actually covering it for my newspaper. But I just wanted to ask you, I mean, you just mentioned it, Jokic with the pass to MPJ. I felt like that was such an underrated, like, I know everybody's talking about Dame, and rightfully so. I mean, the dude was unconscious tonight. But I just feel like Jokic was so spectacular. But I wanted to ask you, like, if this Nuggets team has Jamal Murray, and I hate to play the what-if game, but it just feels like, and I don't even know if they're going to win this series. I mean, Portland could easily go back and win Game 6 and win Game 7 too. But if they have Jamal Murray, is this Nuggets team a legitimate title contender?
They'd be my favorites in the Western Conference, considering what. Well, I will premise it by saying this: that by Jamal Murray's going out with injury, Michael Porter Jr. has blossomed into this budding superstar. And it's not that it wasn't happening before, but since Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic are on the ball so much, it means Michael Porter Jr. is just catch and shoot, which he is incredible at. But now that he's being asked to carry the offense in more like, here's the ball, do something, as opposed to just here's the ball, shoot, he has ascended to that, and it's a blessing in disguise for his career that he has this opportunity. But let's be honest, we know what Jamal Murray brings to this team and how they play defense, and even without Dozier, Gary Harris is gone. There's no Barton right now, and they're getting buckets from Marcus Howard off the bench, and shit, I've seen Conchar at times come in. Yeah, like, of course, they have it. They have it. If Jamal Murray's on the team, they would be probably my pick to come out of the West looking like this. But to your point, the what ifs are tough to do, and whether they get out of this series or not, I mean, I think fans probably got to be super proud of this team with their all-star point guard not being there.
Yeah, and secondly, and then I'll hop off and let someone else get on. But talking to Dame tonight. I mean, I don't know if he was just frustrated, obviously, because, I mean, he just dropped 55 and they lost the game. But, like, big picture for the Blazers, I mean, they have, who I think is probably the best point guard in the league. I mean, what do they need to do to take the next step? Because it feels like every year they're a team that, I know they made the Western Conference Finals, I think it was a couple seasons ago, but they just can't get over the hump. It feels like they need another star. And I know McCollum's there, and, you talked about Nurkic. He's a nice player, but what do the Blazers need to do? And do you think Dame would ever leave Portland?
Well, he's signed for the next. He's making $50 million in 2024. Right, he's not going anywhere.
I don't know. Would he ever demand a trade or something? Just because it just feels like he's getting frustrated at this point. Of like we can't get over the hump.
If there's one guy who I think would never request a trade, it's Damian Lillard, because he has said multiple times, I ride with this team and this franchise for every minute that I'm here. He's made it very clear that I'm loyal to my guys, and if I sign this contract, I mean it. And so I can almost say with the utmost certainty that will never be the case with Damian Lillard. But more importantly, they made it during the offseason. Everyone considered the Blazers to be the biggest winners because they made the trade for Covington. They spent a lot to get Covington. They got Derrick Jones Jr. there. So for a team, and let's not forget Norman Powell will cost them a pretty penny too. So they have liquidated a lot of assets to put this team together. And Derrick Jones Jr. is not getting run there for whatever reason. Covington is not the first team all defense defender that I think a lot of people, his reputation precedes him at this point. They figured that they all their issues throughout those years in which they couldn't get to the finals and they were losing to the Warriors in those 7-game series against the Spurs and the Blazers, or excuse me, and the Nuggets back a couple of years ago. The reason was always in which they couldn't stop guys out on the perimeter. So they stacked this roster with the 3-and-D guys. Again, on paper, Derrick Jones Jr., Covington, and Powell should be able to do it, but they just can't. And they are getting gashed to death on the interior. They give up so many second chance opportunities, easy looks at the rim, that all of these trades that they've made haven't I wouldn't say that they failed. They just haven't propelled this team to be a legitimate championship contender that I think we all thought they might be, at least on paper, before the season started. Thanks for the call, George. And before I take the next call, now I'm kind of curious here. Points in the paint, 42-42. 42-42. The Nuggets only had five fast break points the entire game. And you gave up 142 points, not on a fast break. They gave up, the Blazers, y'all gave up 142 points in the half court. Whether that's at the foul line or in the half court. And it's 2 overtimes, okay? So a little bit grain of salt. Are y'all kidding me, though? Do you know how hard it is to score 142 points in the half court against any NBA team? They did it. How do you think that happens? Well, when you out-rebound them by 7, that's the start of it. They didn't outshoot them from 3. Denver 23s, Portland 21. Almost exact same percentages. Almost the exact same number of free throws. Almost the same exact percentage from the line. But rebounds, 7 difference. Assists, 8 difference. Lord knows what that second chance opportunity number looks like if I can find it. And you better believe I'm about to. Who's up? What's up, Brandon?
How you doing?
Hanging out, my friend. Que pasa?
Look, so I want to talk a little bit about today and a little bit about tomorrow and get your thoughts on that. So today we've been talking a lot about the game that just finished, or game before, but I want to talk about Chris Paul. So do you think if Chris Paul is actually going to be out for the rest of the series because of that shoulder injury, it looked bad when it happened, that the Suns aren't going to win at all? Or do you think the Suns have a chance?
So I didn't tweet it at the time because I don't like tweeting things like injuries or players that have been affected by injuries, but I did have the TNT overtime stream, and I was watching the timeout when the game went to commercial. This was also right when Damian Lillard was going nuclear, so people weren't paying attention to it. But CP3, during that timeout when no one was watching, went over to the bench, and he cried his eyes out from the pain.
Yeah, that's really why I want your opinion on that, because CP3 doesn't really sell like any type of calls or anything like that, so that it had to be bad for him to go over there and
Yeah, he looked to be in extreme pain and almost again, I'm not a doctor and I couldn't even hear the audio of it, but just based on his reaction, it was that he pushed it so hard that it almost looked like he knew it might be over. And this is a man, by the way, who I've seen that same look on his face with the wrist injury with the Clippers, the hamstring with the Rockets, and it just always seems to come back and bite him in the playoffs because he's a normal-sized human compared to these monsters around him in terms of like how big and physical NBA players are. He just can't stay healthy, and it's really, really hurt him, and it was a tough moment to watch. But I think your question was more so about what happens from here, because this is a business and they still have games to play and they got to win a series. So,
exactly, yeah.
So let's just assume that Chris Paul is either the shadow of his old self, like we saw in games 2 and 3, or he doesn't play. Cam Payne tonight earned his stripes. It's no longer a fluke or just like, it's Cam Payne. He'll regress to the mean. He has blown through every advanced analytic that ever suggests that. Tonight, stepping in there, He goes only 19 minutes, but 7-11 from the floor and 16 points, 4 rebounds too. Granted, all of these stats and plus minuses are going to be askew when it's a 30-point blowout. But what I saw from Cam Payne tonight was not only confidence, but a mastery of the offense itself, in which I would feel confident as a Phoenix Suns fan if we have to give that man 32 minutes, which would be 13 more than he got tonight. But if we have to play him 32 to 35 minutes, of course, I would much rather have the point god at his absolute peak of his powers, Chris Paul, out there. But the same way that the Nuggets have gone to Monte Morris after Jamal Murray's injury, Cam Payne is on that very short list of backup point guards that can maybe come in there in that very specific system, and you don't lose a whole lot. I'm sure there's some on-off statistic that may either make that point valid or prove me wrong. But just from the eye test tonight, maybe it's the home crowd juicing him up, but he really looked flawless in the secondary transition of running the offense when the ball's in his hands. Always making the right decision, being in the right place at the right time, really thrives off of this team's energy. That's a very long-winded answer to your question to suggest that I still think the Suns can win this series without Chris Paul, because even tonight before the injury, he was still a shadow of his old self. 9 points on 3 of 9 shooting, and he had a heroic game in game 4, okay, in which he still only gave you like 19 and 7. And the man can't even lift the ball above his head before the injury tonight to get the shot to the rim. He made 1 3-pointer, but the other 2 weren't even close, and it's just a struggle to watch. So he can give you so much more than just scoring. He can create for others, which he did. But I don't think the Phoenix Suns will be, the point guard position will be any sort of liability with Cam Payne at the helm.
Okay. And then with AD out and possibly coming back, because I assume with them warming up, I mean, I've never heard of a groin injury, just healing over 48 hours or even really, I guess, 90, 92 or 94, whatever the breakdown on that is. A groin injury healing like that. So if AD does end up coming back and is a shell of himself, does that give the Lakers the boost to now come back and win? I guess because since they're down, what is it, 3-2? They have to win two straight games at this point. So will the Lakers, if AD's a shell of himself, come back and give the Lakers that push?
It's going to be, I mean, of course you want to have Anthony Davis out there, but if you put Anthony Davis and he's just the standing on the perimeter guy from game 1 that's just out there kind of chucking shots around and not being engaged, of course, I would always think the Lakers are better with his presence on the court. And honestly, Andre Drummond wasn't completely terrible tonight. So you're never going to replace someone as good as Anthony Davis, but they just have to be, they just got their doors blown off tonight. Dennis Schroeder gives you an 0 of 9 performance in 26 minutes in which you desperately need offense. And it looked at the very beginning like we may be getting one of those LeBron kind of FU games in that I know what I need to do, coming out to that 5-0 lead, kind of weathering the storm and quieting the crowd down. And boy, let me tell you, the rest of the team just really let him down tonight. And don't make that sound like I'm sitting here as LeBron can do no wrong. He certainly needs to demand the ball a lot more than he did in that first half when shit was getting away from the Lakers.
Sure.
He needs to.
I think his game plan, though, for like the first half, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like his game plan in the beginning was more or less like, I got to get my teammates active because that's how we're going to win with AD out. You know what I'm saying? And their shots weren't falling. And then when he tried to shoot, his shots weren't falling. I think that's what really got them in the hole, like in the first half hole. But I'd hope to see like a more competitive game 6 at this point. But yeah.
So they played starting lineup tonight, which was KCP, Dennis Schroeder, Andre Drummond, LeBron James, and Markieff Morris. 2 of those guys in that lineup played no more than 15 minutes. In that lineup, had never played with each other once started together once during the regular season or the playoffs. So you're trying something in a hostile atmosphere which resembles the orcs storming Helm's Deep in Lord of the Rings. You're playing in front of that damn crowd, and you're trying something completely new with an injured KCP, a guy in Markieff Morris who's not gotten a ton of run this series. And to your point, LeBron was trying to get them going, like, I'm trying to get you guys engaged in the game. But at that point, going down by 14 points, it's too late to get everyone else involved. I want to see LeBron go 2012 Game 6 against Boston and just demand the ball and get to the rim one way or another. I don't know if he's still got that in the tank now and he's injured as well, but we've just grown so accustomed to seeing that from LeBron James that we're sitting here saying, why aren't you doing that shit? You even did it just 2 years ago in that series against the Golden State Warriors in Game 1 when you were playing with the Toon Squad and J.R. Smith was your best wing player alongside you. Where was that, LeBron James? I can hear people screaming that at their televisions, and to be honest, yeah, even now, in year 18, I still demand that LeBron do that, especially with his back against the wall. If I don't see that LeBron in Game 6, of course, I think we need to start having the conversation about father time.
Okay. I totally agree, first of all. But I got one more. I got one more like type of statement, and then I'll hop off and let somebody else get on. So you got 4 games tomorrow. You've got the Grizzlies not trying to close out, but you got Utah trying to close out the Grizzlies. You have the Sixers trying to close out the Wizards. What do you think about those 2 games? Who do you think is coming out, or do you think there's going to be a Game 7? Or Game 7, Game 6.
You just reminded me that tomorrow is going to be fucking hell. There are 4 games on. We're double booked for the early games and the late games tomorrow. God damn, that sucks.
Everything.
But all right.
You've got Wizards and Sixers 6 o'clock. These are Central Time, so 7 o'clock Eastern. You've got Hawks Knicks. That's Game 6, 6:30 or 7:30. I'm sorry.
Game 5. Yeah.
Grizzlies Jazz 9:30. Mavericks Clips at 10. All Eastern times.
So yeah, I mean, we do need to have the conversation here about if Joel Embiid is not coming back this series. What? I mean, the Philadelphia's heavily favored for a reason, and it's because they're the better team. And Ben Simmons picked one hell of a time in Game 4 to have the worst game of his series, and Tobias Harris couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. That's not going to happen again. And the absence of Davis Bertans is really going to hurt Washington. But without Embiid there, this is a completely different team. They go from the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference to barely feels like a play-in tournament team. That the way that they look without him. It's going to require Tobias Harris to really demand the ball and take over that game, and that's fine with the Wizards. They're willing to live with that in the half court. If they want to go shot for shot with Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook, I think that's what the Wizards are going to sign up for the most. And finally, seeing Scott Brooks go to Daniel Gafford in the starting lineup. I know Wizards fans in here and worldwide have been screaming at the top of their lungs to not play Alex Len, to give those minutes to Daniel Gafford. And you see the difference that it makes. Of course, Robin Lopez was doing his thing with those hook shots, and he was awesome. But Daniel Gafford gives you a new level of athleticism that this team hasn't seen all year, because they didn't get him until the trade deadline and didn't start running him true minutes until the end of the season. So it would not surprise me in the least to see Washington maybe pull off an upset. I'm not saying that they will, but without Embiid, anything is fair game at this point. And then if they lose that game again, we go 3-2 back to Washington after being up 3-0, you start getting those jitters. I'm putting Ben Simmons at that foul line every chance. I'm putting him in that damn foul, especially in front of the Philly fans. There's more pressure to make those free throws in front of Philly fans than there is on the road, because Lord knows what's going to happen if he starts missing 1 out of every 2 and he keeps trotting to that foul line like he knows he's in trouble. You know what? That's going to be an issue, and I'm interested to see the chess game that occurs in that game. Oh, by the way, it technically shouldn't work, Brandon, because if you foul Ben Simmons at the end of the 4th quarter, he goes to the foul line. But what that does is it allows Doc Rivers to get free defensive possessions from Matisse Thybulle. And granted, Washington was able to score those points to close out the game, but by them fouling Ben Simmons, Doc Rivers has the luxury of just sending in Thybulle and taking him right out. Send him in and not have to worry about the offense and him missing threes. He can only play defense. So while Simmons going to the free throw line is certainly advantageous from a free throw percentage standpoint, it's requiring Washington to play in the half court, which they don't do well, and with Matisse Thybulle and Ben Simmons on the floor. Good luck.
I was literally gonna ask you. So late game, if it's tight like it was, putting yourself in Doc Rivers' shoes, do you sit Ben Simmons? I understand where everybody says he's one of your best players, so you can't sit him. But there's also he's gonna be the one who's getting fouled. So do you make him be the inbound man or passing the ball in, so he's not shooting free throws, or do you leave him to try to catch the ball off the inbound and then just trust that he can make something because he's getting paid $80 million to make a free throw?
Yeah, Brandon. It's Brandon. Thanks for the call, man. It's a good point. It would not surprise me to see Ben Simmons hiding in the crowd. But if there's less than 2 minutes, remember you can't just run over and foul him. If he's involved in a pick and roll, I would just run through him because then it's technically a foul and he's involved in the play, so it's not an away from the ball foul and not 1+ possession. I'm going to stick him on that block and let him do what he has done best. But that's usually with Embiid on the floor, is because it requires a defender to be there and it opens up the skip pass. They are not going to be double teaming Dwight Howard or whoever's down there on the block tomorrow. So where Simmons can thrive, like always, is in the open court in the fast break and transition. Washington will be more than happy to oblige because they want to get out and run too. So let's see how Doc Rivers is able to unleash him, preferably, I think, in his case, not in the half court. But man, if he starts missing free throws in front of that crowd tomorrow, it's going to get ugly. He'd be thankful that game's on NBA TV. Let's go to Adam Geyser. What's up, Adam?
Hey man, can you hear me okay?
I can. Welcome in.
All right, so I apologize in advance. This is going to be another Nuggets Blazers question.
All good.
Yeah, so I'm a Nuggets fan, and sitting there watching this on TV, we were actually able to get it locally on NBA TV, which was nice because we don't have the local broadcasting, so that was nice to see. But watching Dame hit those shots, just as a fan, was very
demoralizing.
Yeah, to a degree. There. This is just a quick question. I was yelling at the screen to try to talk to Coach Malone through the screen to possibly double teaming Dame there at the end. It just felt like, as a fan watching what was going on there, it just seemed like the rest of his teammates were kind of put on the back burner and I think they made 2 points in a really long stretch of time there, and you just saw Dame go off. Do you double team there? Because I know we talked about the fouling situation, how you don't want to cause a 4-point play there. Do you double team there? Because
my answer. Well, hold on. My answer. Sorry to cut you off. My answer is no.
Yeah.
And I know why my answer is no. I mean, you have a tremendous individual on-ball defender in Austin Rivers, who is still in the league and getting play time at the end of a playoff game, a vital playoff game, solely because of his defense. He is a stout defender. If you were to double team Dame, that means you're most likely leaving open either Carmelo Anthony, CJ McCollum, and if it's not those guys, they can just swing it around to one of those three and they can light you up in a heartbeat. Of course, the hot hand is Dame, and I can understand the philosophy of anybody but him, but I would not prefer a wide open CJ McCollum shot or a Carmelo Anthony shot. And I think that would have ultimately been the result there with the amount of attention that he was getting. So I'm willing to trust my defense, which, oh, by the way, like Jokic is out there too. And if we're sending, like, he's a liability to begin with. So if we're doubling and it's not Jokic doing the double team, you're leaving Jokic on an island to go out there with his foot speed and go guards. It just, of course, you're watching it and you're like, get it out of his hands, because you're pulling your hair out and you're just, the emotional reaction is get the ball like anybody else. But Damian Lillard has been seeing those double teams for like 5 years now. You are kidding yourself if you don't think that he knows exactly where to put that ball the moment the double team comes over. So if he wants to do this and do historic things in front of you and be the clutchest player of all time, you tip your hat and you move on. Because they honestly, other than that possession in which they allowed them to inbound the ball pretty much freely, I'm more than happy to let him get those shots up from 35 feet, because what's the alternative here? It is make someone else beat us, but this is not the Brooklyn Nets, in which you can't go over there and like I would almost consider, I'm sorry, I would consider it a similar situation to them that if you throw a double team at KD and you have to leave James Harden wide open, I understand CJ McCollum and Melo aren't Kyrie and James, but like you're picking your poison there, and I think I'm willing to live with it. I'm just kind of rambling at this point, but I think I'm willing to live with Austin Rivers' defense and the hard hedges off of the pick and roll in which they were doing. Like, not one of those was really an open look. The step backs are ridiculous, man. I don't know what else you can do.
Yeah, he's crafty, and just my last comment on that is I think looking back at Dame's stats, I don't remember exactly what it was, but for the game, I think he had at least double-digit assists, if not more, and then turned the ball over maybe a handful of times, like maybe one or two times. Like you got a man that has a lot of playoff experience. That you're right, man. With those weapons that they have in Portland, it can be deadly and it can get bad quick. So I appreciate you taking my call, man.
You got it. Thanks, Adam. People have been trying to figure out Dame for years. You'd figure if it was just as easy as go double him, get the ball out of his hands. It's that easy, right? It's not. He's too good. Let's not act like the double's going to stop him from shooting the damn three anyway, regardless. Vinny Panazzo. What's up, Vin?
How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
What's on your mind?
I'm just sitting here in shock about Phoenix Suns game. I mean, I thought that they were going to come out and at least play them better than how they did tonight. Everyone was a joke on the team for the Lakers.
He got punched in the mouth, man. And LeBron was asked after the game, I was just reading a quote here. He's talking about, we have to prepare as if Anthony Davis isn't going to be here. And my question back to him is, isn't that what tonight was supposed to be? Like, if you're preparing the same way, you prepared to lose by 30 again on your home court? And
yeah,
it was a combination of one, when the lead started to grow there in the first quarter, like every single loose ball, second chance opportunity, rebound was just falling the Suns' way solely because of their effort. I don't think it had a whole lot to do with just good basketball mechanics. They brought it tonight, and there was a lot of deer in headlights. There was a possession in the middle of the first quarter in which, I want to make sure I get this right, I think KCP passed to Caruso, who drove, passed up another open shot, passed it to Kuzma, who passed up an open shot, and then gave it to KCP right at the buzzer on the shot clock, and he just launched it back up. And it didn't go in. And I'm watching this like, there in the first quarter, it was a whole lot of hot potato. It was a whole lot of, no, you go ahead. No, you do your thing. And in that moment, I was like, oh, they're in some deep shit here. Because if there's someone out there who's not willing to take the reins in being LeBron's like go-to sidekick, who in that starting squad between Schroeder, KCP, Markieff Morris, and Drummond was ever going to be that guy? And tonight, it was just like...
It was none of them. They looked scared the whole entire time. So, I mean, Schroeder going 0 for 9 is, I mean, I think that shocked everyone. That was the biggest shock for me, at least. And then, I don't know. I mean, they played so many games without Davis this year that I don't know how they just got shocked tonight like this. But I guess Phoenix the hot hand is going to move on. Is there any more word on Chris Paul?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I haven't seen. They need him back because without him, I think it'll be done for whoever has to play Nuggets Portland winner. Who do you think that will be?
Thanks for the call, Vin. I mean, it's looking like a Suns Nuggets, if all things. Suns Nuggets in the second round. We doing this? I think we're doing this. The one thing in which the one thing we always like to do with the Phoenix Suns after their game, which I have not gone to yet, and am I glad I didn't. After every single Phoenix Suns game, because my biggest X factor in this series was going to be, can the Phoenix Suns maintain their turnover percentage which was almost at the top of the league during the regular season campaign. Could the Phoenix Suns not turn the ball over against the league's most efficient, top-rated defense that has built its entire dynasty on defense leaking out to points off of turnovers in transition? Whether LeBron, AD, and or either or are on the court, the Lakers all season just devoured teams with their defense leaking out to easy buckets. The average for the Phoenix Suns on this regular season was 14. And keep in mind, it was probably that low because Chris Paul is the point guard and he knows how to take care of the ball. When you have a true floor general like that, your offense is efficient. Your offense does not turn the ball over. And that's why their number was 14. You know why I'm stalling right now? 4 total turnovers tonight by the Phoenix Suns. 4. That's 10 less than their average. 2 points the Lakers get off of turnovers in transition. Whether it's a blowout or not. That's insanity. 4 total turnovers. Lakers are in deep shit. They cannot score the basketball unless they get you to turn it over. 85 points tonight. It's going to require a heroic LeBron James performance in the half court when the game slows down if they can't do what they do best. And you figure, well, if they just take care of the ball, the game's over, right? That's what you're telling me. Sure seems like it. Every game that the Phoenix Suns have won has been below their season average turnovers. Keep the Lakers from doing what they do best and make LeBron prove to us that he is still the almighty in year 18 in the half court. He did it one game, but he's got to do it 4 out of 7. Keep it in the half court, especially if Anthony Davis is banged up. I'm kind of in the mood for some Lakers, and I know exactly who to go to. It's our friend from Nigeria, Tosin Holmes. Mr. We're going to sweep the entire Western Conference has the audacity to come in here and request to speak in this chat. Tosin.
Ooh,
yes.
Morning.
Good morning, my friend. Have we changed our tune a little bit?
I am angry, disappointed, broken. I am everything you would call someone on a Wednesday morning. It's Wednesday, by the way, in Nigeria. It's morning already. It's some minutes to 7 a.m. And I'm absolutely outraged. I don't even know how to put my emotions together. Because to stay up late in the night, watch that game at 3 a.m., and that is what my own Lakers could give me as a performance, is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, Dennis Schroeder wanted 100 million to score no points in 25 minutes in the playoffs? Like, please tell me that is what he wants $100 million for. To not score any points in 25 minutes. And then KCP, good in the corner 3, goes to court, returns for game 5. Oh, everyone's excited. Oh, KCP is back. And what he does is drop no points. And you just, I don't know. And then you just have Andre Drummond, who doesn't do what Andre Drummond is supposed to do, give you 20 and 10 at night. And then we lose. The only thing that's making me positive is that when we go back to LA, we win game 6. And of course, you always know what happens to LeBron in game 7. LeBron never loses a game 7. He's going to win a game 7, definitely. So we're still going to win this series anyway. I don't care whether the Phoenix Suns, we're giving them a head start. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe Frank Vogel's looking at it and saying, you know what, guys, let's use this game 5 to see what they're going to play. They're going to show their hand or something. And probably they've shown their hand, and Frank Vogel knows what he's going to do. But I know for sure we're not losing game 6 and 7. We cannot lose those games. Because if we do lose game 6 and 7, it's going to rain the hell out of basketball in the National Basketball Association. And they're going to know the Lakers are out of the Western Conference in the first round. It's not going to happen. It cannot happen. We have to win game 6 and 7. We're going to win game 6 and 7. And when we do that, everyone's going to acknowledge the greatness of LeBron. He did it. Beat the Phoenix Suns. against all odds, with a team of farmers and school teachers. He beat the Phoenix Suns in their best season, you would say, in the 21st century. He did it as a 7th seed. He did it as a 1st seed, and started as a 7th seed as well, because I know we're not going to lose this series. But that being said, once we emerge from this series, whoever wins between Portland and Denver needs to beware. You need to beware, because by that time, AD will be back and you're in serious trouble. And for those who think we still cannot win a championship, we're going to win a championship. We will win a championship, because this series is meant to make us stronger. If we don't give Phoenix Suns a chance, who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? It got to be us. So let's give them a chance. We're going to stretch it to 7 games. I was disappointed. You got to lose some games. But the manner in which we lost tonight was absolutely disgraceful. But that being said, I know LeBron is reserving his greatness for Game 6 and 7. And I know he's going to do it. He's going to get it for us. I'm very confident. Well, I'm confident. I am confident that LeBron's going to come up clutch. 25 points tonight. He needs to drop 40 a night for us to win. And I believe strongly he's going to drop the 40 in the last 2 games. 40 apiece. Not 41 game. 40 in those 2 games. And we're going to get the beating. The Phoenix Suns are not going to know what hit them in Game 6 when they come back to the Staples Center. We will finish the job. I'm confident. I'm not sounding so sure, but I'm confident. I'm pretty much confident with this. But that being said, Dennis Schroeder must get out. I don't want to see. He must not put on a Laker uniform next season. When next season starts, no Schroeder, please. He has to leave. He has to leave. Come on. Come on. Oh, no. Never. It's not. It turned out 100 million. He says he wants 100 million to 0 for 9. As he kept knocking those shots, I kept on putting I face palmed and I was like, what nonsense is this guy playing? How did we offer this guy $80 million? How? Who offers this guy $80 million? And perhaps maybe Chris Paul knows that's what it is. And it was his teammates in OKC last season. And they look at him and say, you know what, Dennis? I got Dennis, don't worry. Just some small thrash talking, he ain't going to do nothing. Is that the guy we're supposed to be relying on? Nah. Should have put on the Laker uniform. But Game 6, we got them. We're going to win that. We're going to win that for sure.
Why? What is going to be different in Game 6? You're just saying it's LeBron? That's the only thing? LeBron is going to show up? He was supposed to show up tonight. And what's your opinion on Anthony Davis if he doesn't come out to play?
I don't think he's going to come out to play. Look, let me be honest with you. I don't think we're going to have Davis for Game 6. The moment I saw that groin injury in Game 4, my heart skipped. And we lost that game in Game 4 at a moment where you would say we had the game in our hands. And that's one of the things you've got to talk about, the likes of Dennis Schroeder. Players are supposed to come up clutch. This is where you're supposed to show that you could be a number 2 option. Let's even say, okay, you're not a number 2 option, you're a number 3 option. You've got to come up clutch and play. You have to come out, stand up, and be counted. This was a game that could have been easily 3-1, and towards the end of the second quarter in Game 4, we let the lead slip. 11-point lead from the almighty Los Angeles Lakers. And we just went on a run where we couldn't even score, we couldn't make buckets. And, it's normal, it happens in games. And then AD goes down, and everyone just decides to forget their scoring fingers, because that was what happened. Not the scoring hands in this case. They forgot their scoring fingers. I don't know, maybe in the locker room, or maybe they forgot it at home. I don't know what happened. But everyone just refused to score. And when we started scoring, it was a bit too late. And Jay Crowder was knocking down threes on my own court. Jay fucking Crowder. Knocking down threes. And I've been said, we forgive you, do that. But this is Game 5, and then tonight, I'm not going to lie, I think LeBron is not releasing his role as a scorer anymore. And he wants to do more, you guys have to score. There was a pic that I think I saw was in Game 2, where it was telling KCP, you need to score. I think it was Game 2 or Game 3. I wanted to score, and I saw it. I think it was on your feed, I did see it. KCP is not scoring. I don't know where the confidence has gone to. He's not scoring. And these are things that you need to talk about. KCP is not scoring. The other guys are not stepping up to the plate. Kyle Kuzma dropped 15 in a playoff series, where you look at the other players from his from his draft class to doing very well in the playoffs. I'm very disappointed in some of these guys, but there's a limit to which LeBron can do. I think it also kind of explains the motions that we've gone through as a franchise, where we become so good on defense that when we're not good on defense and we find a team who can sort of find a way around us and not make the mistakes that will make us latch onto those errors, we kind of fall flat. It also happened tonight. We just couldn't find a way. We couldn't figure a way. We had 10 points for goodness sakes in a quarter. Well, who on God's green has 10 points? Like, who does that? 10?
Well, my friend, I'm looking forward to our conversation after Game 6 because there is still some confidence coming from you, which, I mean, you might as well go down with the ship at this point. And there have been many LeBron James teams in the past in which we've been right here in this very spot. And he has done it for 2 decades now. Can he do it one more time? Will there be one more concert? One more song? I don't know. I don't, the way that, you know what, I will agree with you during your little rant was he looks in these first 5 games, I think you said he's not really interested in being this 35 field goal attempt per game scorer anymore. It sure felt like it tonight. And maybe the game got away too quickly, but at some point, even if you have Anthony Davis on your team, I just want to I want to grab LeBron by the collar and say, "You're LeBron. Like, go win us this game." And if we lose with LeBron doing that in that situation, you're willing to live with that. But one thing I could never I would lose sleep if LeBron James shoots 15 field goals, has 15 field goal attempts in Game 6 at home, and the Lakers get eliminated either in a close game or a blowout, and he only shot the ball 15 times, that would make me lose sleep. But if LeBron goes out there, empties the clip, and just doesn't have it, you know what? We found out what we needed to know. I can't live with the what if, especially on a reigning champion Lakers team in which LeBron is trying to put a bow on top of his legacy and all the above, that he can't go out this season like that. He'll be back for many more opportunities, but I gotta see him take a minimum of 25 field goals. Period. I don't care how it happens. Just make it happen. There is no getting the other players involved anymore. You are LeBron James. You are the nuclear weapon of the NBA, as you have always been. Nobody can stop you if you actually ascend to that level of stardom. That is why still to this day, people still think you are the best player in the league no matter what. There may be more talented players. There are other MVPs, but you are LeBron. You don't call yourself the king because you don't go out there like a king at the end of 300 and eat those damn arrows. That's what I want to see from that man.
Yes, definitely. That's what we all want to see. But I mean, the problem is when you're so good, you become so good, you finesse a lot of things, and then you feel like, you pick your moments. And I think that's what LeBron is doing now. He's picking his moments. And I also have a feeling he's just decided to stretch this game to 7 games. I also have that feeling that I think he just wants to use this series to get in tune with his body. He said it's not 100% yet, so I think, maybe that's also a factor. That's also one of the reasons why I decided, guys, let's let the series go to Game 7. I'm going to show my greatness in Game 6 and 7 because I'm LeBron James. And, there's something that I think it's Chuck that says it. Charles Barkley says you can't just turn up and play basketball. We've seen James Harden turn up and play basketball. If James Harden can do it, if Kevin Durant can do it, LeBron James can do it. I think LeBron James is choosing his moments on a basketball court. And this is going to be the declaration of his goatness by the time he's done with this series. I'm pretty confident about it.
Until next time, Tosin, best of luck to you, my friend. I'm rooting for you. I don't know if I'm rooting for the Lakers, but I'm certainly rooting for you. He brings up a good point there. There is no more picking and choosing. Force the damn shot. Force it. Unless it results in a guaranteed 2 points. Don't pass the damn ball anymore. The LeBron James that has taken the teams back from 3-1 and 3-2, that 2012 Boston Game 6, the ball is in his hands. I want his usage percentage to be 100%. Not even kidding. If his usage percentage is not 100%, something is wrong. Something went wrong. Usage percentage doesn't mean that you have to actually shoot. It means you're you were involved in the result of the play no matter what. There's no excuse for me now. I don't want to hear him. He's hurt. Chris Paul died on the court tonight. They're missing their best player. There is no excuse. Anthony Davis is hurt. Nobody gives a shit. Everybody's hurt. Fucking pandemic out there. Nobody cares. Go out there and be the LeBron we have always known. Otherwise, yeah, the conversation's going to change whether it's fair or not. Who's up next? Let's go to Steven or Stefan. Either one.
It's Steven.
Steven, what's up, my friend? Are you from
What's
Colombia?
up, I am actually, but with that.
We add that to the map, Gigi. We got a Bogota, Colombia caller. What's on your mind?
Good, man. So, I'm a Blazers fan, and I'm just curious on your thoughts of if the Blazers do lose this series with Damian Lillard, being Superman tonight, deciding that he was going to put the city of Portland on his back and then his teammates letting him down in the 2-0-T. What do you think is the story there out of Portland?
The same Blazers that I've watched all year. The same Blazers that have to find a way with the guys either on the roster or find someone that can help out this defense. Because for as much as CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard give you on offense, they're not known for their defensive individual ability. And that doesn't mean you can't find a way to make them useful. I'm watching the Atlanta Hawks have Trae Young, who is the equivalent of an NBA mini-me on defense. And they are dominating on defense with a mini-me, taking up one of the 5 spots. There are ways in which you can hide players, that you can double team in the post and not give up 140 points a night. I don't know if that's Terry Stotts. Surely all the Blazers fans are coming for Terry Stotts' head. That may be for good reason, but I'm not in the film rooms and I'm not in the locker rooms. They don't have any damn big guys. They don't close out possessions. They don't get big rebounds when it matters. And you can throw stats at me all you want. That the rebounding was only 7. That's not that big of a difference. It seems to be the 7 biggest ones. And why is it that Damian Lillard can have these nights in which he goes into infinity gauntlet mode? And why are those games never the Blazers are now up by 20? Why is it always that the Blazers are scratching out wins when that happens? Every time. Every time when Dame goes crazy, the game is still somehow close. Why does that make sense? It shouldn't make sense, but it does. And it's because we've seen it now for 5 straight months and even some years in the past. They can't stop anybody, ever. And they're so inconsistent that even on a night in which they get a historic performance like this, they still can't get a win. So I don't know if they need to blow something up in the offseason. They sure as hell traded a lot of assets to put this team together. But you need more from Norman Powell on defense. You need more from Robert Covington on defense. You need more from this team because defense is, of course, a lot of effort. But at the end of the day, I'm not seeing anything from them to prevent Michael Porter Jr. from getting open looks, from seeing Nikola Jokic keep the ball out of his hands. I don't know. I've never seen them do something that like, oh, that's different. It's just the same shit over and over again with this Portland team. And y'all are probably tired of hearing me rant about it. But now do you see why I was all these times when you're coming in here asking me questions during the regulars? I want to talk about the Blazers because this team should win the damn championship with the offensive talent that they have. But they ain't winning shit. And now y'all see why.
I agree with you. 100%. It would help if Nurkic could stay in a full game. He's fouled out 3 times this series, and every single time he does, we lose.
He played, so there was a grand total of 48 plus 10, 58 total minutes in tonight's Blazers Nuggets affair. And Nurkic plays 24 of them. And, of course, if a call goes his way, blah, 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 sort of excuse. Why is it now that every night he's playing less than half the minutes available to him? They're not winning games without Nurkic on the floor. We have established that at this point. I don't care what the net rating tells me. And you know what? If you give me net rating bullshit after watching tonight, Cantor getting torched when he came in there in that third quarter, if Jokic did miss 7 straight wide open shots, they were all wide open opportunities. But of course, that's going to go into the net rating as an effective defensive possession because they missed. But they got lucky. They got bailed out. that they had the opportunity there to extend the lead and come back because Jokic couldn't put the ball in the damn hoop. They could not survive those minutes.
And not forgetting they had to go nuclear in the first quarter to come back down from 22.
That too. Yeah, that felt like a different damn game. They did. Exactly. They had 0 points on the board until the 7-minute mark. Quite literally 0 points scored, and they still came back to take the damn lead. Crazy.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you taking the call. I'm still rooting for your Knicks. It's not looking good, but hope they can pull something out for you, man.
Thanks, Steven.
Of course.
Take care. Bogota. Colombia is the place to be, supposedly. Hey, I let that Nugs fan... Didn't I let that Nugs fan in here? Scott Foster again. There's some funny troll accounts in here. If you ever get bored, just start scrolling around at some of these other people. Some funny NBA Twitters in here. Jack James, big day for your profile picture. What's good, my friend?
You got me there?
I can. What part of the world are we calling in from today?
Fantastic. I told you the other day I'm in Australia. So,
yeah, you're my Australia Suns fan, which exists somehow.
That's it.
That's it. How are we feeling tonight?
Over here. Yeah, I got into the Suns way back when Nash was a thing, and then they've stung me the past few, the past 10 years really. But I just wanted to jump on, have a chat. Obviously, I'm over the moon. That first half was absolutely incredible. It looked like the Lakers were kind of in there early, and LeBron had the first 5 points, I think, and then we just took over the game. But I just wanted to raise a point. With the teams obviously win these games in the playoffs, obviously win the championship, it seems to be every single person on that team knows their role. And I think even in the games the Suns lost, players still knew their role, and maybe they didn't play it. Like, obviously, Crowder was atrocious for 3 in a couple of games there, but they still played their role and didn't deviate from that. It just seems with this Lakers team that everyone except from LeBron and AD, their role is to just, when I get the ball, when LeBron hasn't got the ball, I'll just go and do something, and maybe I'll make it, maybe I won't. It just seems like they don't have, clearly defined roles that when LeBron isn't LeBron, which I don't think your friend from, I'm not sure what country he was from earlier, but he was pretty high on LeBron shooting 40 in the next couple of games. I don't think that's going to happen myself, but he just doesn't look capable, whether it's the injury and these might be famous last words, but he doesn't look capable of scoring 40, 50. And even if he does, even if he had 40 or 50 this evening, they still would have lost. So I just don't know if these roles of these support players for the Lakers are defined, and they just look slow. They just look so slow, and when the Suns are allowed to play their way, they can't keep up.
Yeah, you raise a couple good points there, and it was a blowout tonight, and usually in a blowout you get some ridiculous statistic that can help explain like how it happened. And I'm looking at it right now. The Phoenix Suns shot 33% from three-point land. They shot 45% from the field. And that is hardly a number which would help explain a 30-point blowout. They didn't just catch fire like the Mavericks did in those two games in LA where they were putting up 55-60% from 3. They didn't really do that tonight. They just kicked the shit out of them with energy. That entire first quarter, I swear they got every single loose ball, every single second chance opportunity. And that was a result of effort. And then you unleash Devin Booker out of the dribble handoffs. That philosophy, by the way, of the Lakers that cut it off in games 2 and 3. They found out that Devin Booker does not like to stand out there in isolation and shoot three-pointers because he's honestly not that good at it. He's like a 33-34% career shooter. And if we just keep him from getting a head start, we can use our first-rated defense to slow him down. But tonight, when they're either in transition or they run that half-court secondary offense in which Devin Booker starts in the corner and they do the dribble handoff. He's got a full steam ahead. He gets into the lane. He's going to go off like he did tonight because he's that good. The Lakers have completely forgotten that making that man stationary should be a primary objective in the half-court defense. And I didn't see it once tonight. It just got so out of hand that they just dropped all of their principles together. And at the end of the day, like you alluded to with Tosin, God bless Tosin, but he's relying on a big LeBron James game, as am I if I'm a Laker fan. I just told you, I want to grab him by the collar and say, go be LeBron James and throw him back out there. But he doesn't look like in these first 5 games that he has ever wanted to be that LeBron James in the first 3 quarters in addition to the fourth. Can he turn it on at all times in the fourth? Of course. I think he'll be able to do that for the rest of his career when he gives you the fuck you threes and he goes into isolation. But the game is going to be required to be close at that point. And to get there, if LeBron isn't that engaged in terms of scoring, you can consider him engaged in running the offense. But whether it was Caruso, Schroeder, Kuzma, if none of them have it, it's going to be 20 points and then it's gone. And there's no chance of coming back. And there's no chance for the fuck you threes in the half-court transition, or excuse me, in the half-court offense. So I think that was just a lot of words to tell you that it was an ass-kicking, man. I don't know how else to put it. They never had a chance. And if LeBron isn't going to be LeBron, they won't have a chance for the rest of this series.
Yeah, and on defense, I think it was so noticeable that they just had no idea what they were switching, who had the ball at times. There was one where I think CP3 had it, or it might have been Bridges or Payne on the baseline. He got the handoff from Torrey Craig, and he literally just waltzed in for a dunk. And was it McLemore on the court at that stage? Maybe
yes.
Wesley Matthews just spun around, and he had no idea who was on who was switching what. LeBron has just been so emotionless too. Like usually we see him getting angry, just at his powers for missing an assignment or whatever. But he's just been almost looks like he just. I know he cares, but it almost looks like he just doesn't care. And it's just so. And I just want to give credit to Monty Williams and the Suns because after game 2 or was it game 3, I was out, man. I was checked out. I was like, nah. And Anthony Davis, he makes a big impact, obviously, but I just think. The fact that they play to their strengths and they go with pace, like the amount of times they take the ball out of the bucket and they're over half court before 3 or 4 Lakers have even crossed the half court line, and they're just switching on the run. And as soon as the Lakers get set in their defense, the Suns are already 3 or 4 seconds ahead in their sets.
So I want to give 3 points of credit here. The first of which you alluded to, communication, in which the Lakers looked like that they weren't switching, that they were looking at each other after the Suns got a wide open layup. I want to give credit to the Phoenix Suns crowd because if there was screaming of switch, and there was no switching, you can give that assist to those 15, 18, 20,000 fans in that arena that were screaming at the top of their lungs and created an atmosphere that made it hellacious to hear any sort of defensive signals. Usually, when games are played at the amplitude of the crowd, you see signs. You see people pointing to their ears saying, "I can't hear you. I need signs from the bench to tell me if I need to switch or not," because they can't hear shit. And that seemed to be the case tonight. And that compounds and parlays into the next point of give the Phoenix Suns credit for not allowing LeBron James to look like, in your words, he cares. I think he cares, but he is not engaged. And he doesn't like traditionally to get engaged until he starts coming in he gets his first bench rest. He comes in and all of a sudden he starts to pick it up. He's always wanted to get his other guys going in the first quarter, ever since even the peak of his powers in the Miami Heat days. He lost a title because he kept deferring to Dwayne Wade. And the Miami Heat fans were slamming their fists saying, dude, we love Dwayne, but you're fucking LeBron. Go be LeBron in the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, and the fourth quarter. So credit to the Phoenix Suns for creating a lead and separating so that by the time LeBron may have been more engaged in the offense, it was too late. And then the final piece of credit here is also to the Phoenix Suns for the effort that I continue to allude to here at home and in Game 4. And they forced Anthony Davis to get into the paint. to be engaged, to be physical, which he doesn't always want to do. And I don't want to give them credit for hurting them, but it required Anthony Davis to now, like, dude, you can't just be out there and shoot threes on the perimeter like you like to do. We need you down at the rim. And he's got a back injury, he's got a groin, he's got a knee now. They are being physical with Anthony Davis quite very legally. Okay, I haven't seen anything dirty, so they're not out there trying to injure people. But the Suns, and DeAndre Ayton specifically, has been so energetic. It is forcing Anthony Davis to play a full 48 minutes around the rim. And because of that, now he's hurting. And now he's not 100%. And if we're going to turn this into a war of attrition, two guys that just spent months in a bubble playing every single day, there was a quick turnaround coming into the season in which they had to play multiple back-to-backs with a shortened offseason, and then they don't play a lot together. They're taking advantage of everything at their disposal. They can only do so much. And the Phoenix Suns are really putting the pressure on AD and LeBron to be the stars that they have been their entire careers, nowhere near 100%. I don't think it's ever been, this engine has ever been asked to go into this overdrive. I'm thinking of that scene from Fast and the Furious where he knows if he hits that NOS button that the engine may explode and I may blow the bearings. And they're like hitting that damn NOS button that we're going to lose this race if we don't. And it's just all going to fall apart. And we're there right now. I don't know how many people have seen that movie in the comparison I actually made, but it is true. And Anthony Davis has been driven into the ground that he may not even be able to play.
Such a good point. And I think, if the Lakers do happen to make it past the Suns, I really can't see them having much of an impact in later rounds. As you said, I don't think, as you said, they've been able to put it on cruise control for the first couple of rounds of playoff series, especially last season. And they've been made to work overtime here. And I think I'll wrap it up with one point. I think LeBron in past, he had a tight series and an away game, chance to lead the game, win the game, lead the series, and take it home to close it out, you'd bet your money on him doing that, right?
I did, and I lost.
100%. And that's what I was kind of thinking in this game. And even though Devin Booker's being great, it was who's going to rock up, because Chris Paul is an absolute shadow of himself. But Cameron Payne, that guy was balling in China a couple of years ago, and he's out there, absolutely killing this Lakers team in that first half. And who rocked up? Devin Booker did. LeBron James didn't. And it's as simple as that. If you're LeBron James and you have a chance to win this game, and silence that crowd early, and they were up like 10-5, was it 12-5 early? If they hit another couple they'd open threes, they could have been up 10-12, and then you see the Suns kind of, get a bit shaky, but they allowed them in, and Devin Booker rocked up. That crowd, man, isn't it great to have those crowds kind of just in the stadiums? On the screen, it looked amazing. And Suns rocked up, and I'm quietly confident for next game.
Next time we speak, Jack, hopefully there's some good news for you to discuss, or we will be sitting here wondering what happened that made who woke up LeBron. It's going to be one of those two things. It's either going to be a massacre in Game 6, or it's going to be a LeBron moment that gets them to the finish line at the last moment, in the very last second. So that's my guess, and that's why they play the game. We don't know.
That's it. Unless Schroeder comes out and has 60 and earns the $100 million contract he wants, but I'm not sure that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen either. You got it. Thanks for the call, Jack. Couple more, shall we? Well, this guy's got LeBron as his damn picture. Let's see. Someone on the opposite side here, how he's feeling. Hey, what's up? Welcome back. Talk to me.
Hello?
What's up, dude? I can hear you. I did.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, man. I don't know where to start. Really frustrated. I saw the whole game. It was pretty hard to watch, but I think LeBron was just. I think Brandon made a great point when he was talking to you. But I think LeBron was just trying to set up his teammates in the beginning, and when that didn't work, he tried to go for shots, and everything just fell apart. So I don't know what's going to change unless Rob Pelinka just transfers 100 million to Dennis Schroeder's account like right now. Probably might give 60 next game. Man, that guy is just annoying as fuck. God. How did he expect to get 100 million? Come on. He has to look himself in the mirror.
It's going to be a struggle.
What's your analysis on Dennis Schroeder?
The streakiness is brutal. I mean, he had a good game there in, what was it, game 3? I think it was his best. It was either game 2 or game 3. He had one where he stood out and where he was clearly noticeably better. But at the starting point guard position on the Lakers, which requires such a burden of both offensive creation and defense, being in these positions and watching him pass up open threes is the most frustrating part. And we know that Schroeder's not a good three-point shooter, and he doesn't really want to do that kind of stuff. But like when LeBron actually drives and puts the energy in to get the entire defense to collapse on top of him, when he does that jump pass and Schroeder's out there doing a slow-motion, flat-footed pull, and then he pump fakes it, and he starts dribbling and lets the defense.
Oh my God, I've never seen anything annoying than that.
And when he does that, and then everything that LeBron just put in the work to do, you're not confident that Schroeder's, one, going to make it, or two, even take it. And I want someone out there. Caruso tonight didn't shoot that well, but he was the one Laker that I saw on the court that didn't look like a deer in headlights. And he would shoot the open corner three. He made one. He missed more than he took. But I need more guys on the floor that when LeBron puts in the work to get you open, you got to take those opportunities. No more of this like swing pass bullshit that the Lakers have been doing so many games throughout this entire series. It's noticeable. I don't know. There's just so many different things you can. And Schroeder, of course, is one of the main issues here. But when you have Anthony Davis and LeBron, which you may not have healthy for this game, but just hypothetically, if you do, I just surround them with shooters. Surround them, because LeBron is going to play point forward in the games that are close down the stretch anyway. So you don't need a true point guard bringing the ball up the court. Why not surround them with Caruso, a THT, surround them with KCP, those type of guys, and then put AD at the 5. Why Vogel resorts to going to that lineup only when he absolutely needs to is frustrating, because you feel like if he did that more often, we wouldn't be in these situations that require the stars to prove just how good they are. But instead, he's trying to steal minutes with Gasol, who's been okay. He's good for Gasol, but he's been trying to steal minutes with Drummond, and they just aren't working. And they fall so behind that now we start pressing and we start having to shoot these threes, and they're not even shooting the damn threes. So I don't even know where to start. My only suggestion again to them is surround LeBron with shooters. At the very least, that's going to create space. And if LeBron is truly starting to break down, I still think he has enough left in the tank to take dudes one-on-one and get to the rim. I mean, come on. It's still that. LeBron is still like there. He's still an all-star at the very least. So why not create that space for him? And he knows better than anybody when to drive and kick. That's what I'd like to see in Game 6. If one, Phoenix gets out to a lead, or two, let's try something here in the first quarter, because you really can't go wrong. If Anthony Davis is playing, he can handle DeAndre Ayton, but it's not like Andre Drummond's out there negating those Ayton minutes anyway. So why not just go small? And that's kind of what Phoenix wants to do anyway, but you're out of options at this point.
Also, I have another question. So if you just compare the bench talent with the Lakers and the Suns, I don't know if the Suns are better. If you look player by player, I don't see how they're beating them by 30, beating the Laker bench by 30. What do you think?
The Suns bench. Yeah, dude, the Suns bench. I'm going to consider campaign now to be a part of the starters because
he became an all-star overnight.
Yeah, he became an all-star overnight. If you don't punish the Phoenix Suns, which they did in games 2 and 3, and
they
that's
never miss open threes also.
Yeah, if you don't punish the Phoenix Suns for playing Frank Kaminsky, And like Cam Johnson's fine, but you got to punish them for trying to steal minutes from those guys. And they've really only been going to an 8-man rotation. Sharch has fallen out of the lineup. Even Javon Carter doesn't get in. We haven't seen any Etwan Moore. Like they're just playing, they're spelling DeAndre Ayton with freaking Frank Kaminsky. And how the Lakers don't go on a 10-0 run in those minutes. If they don't go on a 10-0 run, it's a loss. And they haven't been. And this Laker bench is supposed to be the biggest strength of this team. But Wes Matthews has been disappointing. And if THT is not going to get the run and Kuzma's missing his shots, they haven't been winning those bench minutes. And especially if AD's not playing and LeBron goes to the bench, they not only aren't winning those minutes, they lost them tonight.
Right.
That can't ever happen if you're trying to win a series against these guys. Phoenix's starters, they've been awesome. But I'm not ever going to believe that they are going to win bench minutes with those 3 guys, or in this case now 2, with Cam Payne probably moving into the starting role. Thanks for the call, Abhay. Cameron Nia, Suns fan, it appears. How are we, sir?
Hello?
What's going on?
What's going on, man?
Hanging out. What's on your mind?
Just happy. Like, I think we played great today. I think I don't see AD playing Game 6 personally. One of my friends actually is a ball boy for the Suns. And I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but he was talking about how AD kind of couldn't really move right or left today, which is kind of like, I hate seeing a man injured. Like, you don't want to see anyone hurt. But as a Suns fan, like seeing what happened to Chris Paul today, it kind of, doesn't really even it out, I'd say, but it kind of is beneficial to us in a way. But overall, just great game. I think that Drummond being in the post is really rough for LeBron, because LeBron, the way the Lakers will win this series is if LeBron's attacking and dishing, or attacking and laying it in, or dunking it, drawing fouls. And I feel like with Drummond in the post, he doesn't have that ability.
Drummond, his best skill is standing there and clogging up your toilets like you just spent $10 at Taco Bell. That's what he does best. I'm the least. What's the opposite of the biggest fan? I've been him like that on Andre Drummond since his Detroit Pistons days, because when I was back playing the daily fantasies of the world, Andre Drummond was always on everyone's roster. So you end up watching him like, how is this dude putting up 20 and 25 every night? And you watch it.
Exactly.
And he just stands there because he can't finish, and he just gets his own misses, and he does nothing to contribute to the offense other than standing on the block. And this is not an instance in which it's Ben Simmons standing on the block, because Ben Simmons, despite being solitary standing over there, serves an actual purpose. And Andre Drummond, if he's going to do it, better be getting 10 offensive rebounds a game, which he doesn't. He can't guard DeAndre Ayton. He barely gets back in transition on time. There's nothing that he does to benefit the team statistically. And to your point, if he's out there, he stands. You're not going to ever guard him on the 3-point line, which is why the Gasol minutes actually work. But you're going to clog up that lane. So if you do the drive and kick with LeBron, like so many people have suggested, that's not possible when Drummond's defender, who is Andre Ayton, their main rim protector, is standing down there. It just makes no sense. And I don't want to hear anything about some advanced analytics stat that says, you know what, in these situations, actually, Andre, we've seen enough of a sample size now that anything, I would almost rather play with 4 players than have a clogged up lane for LeBron. At this point, I would rather have an open lane and 4 players than 5 with Drummond out there, because LeBron clearly is not either healthy enough or engaged enough to dominate from the outside, because he doesn't want the ball in his hands that much playing in isolation. So then, at the very least, let's get him to the rim. And he can't get to the rim because Drummond's guy is standing down there. I'm fine with like 5 to 10 Drummond minutes to spell either Gasol or AD at the 5. At some point, they have to come out. But at this point, it's... I don't know. Like, Vogel, I'm always going to trust Vogel, but I think we've seen enough from Andre Drummond now just to know you have to feel like it's fresh meat if you're a Suns fan knowing he's out there.
And yeah, I was shocked to see like he even started today. I personally thought Gasol was going to start, so I was shocked about that. And I also thought Harrell was going to be getting more minutes tonight too, which I was also shocked to see. He just kind of came in during garbage minutes.
Yeah, I figured tonight would be the night for Harrell. And tonight would be the night for Harrell because he is able at all times to match the energy of that building. Harrell always brings it. And he, of course, he's a little undersized for his position. But if AD's not out there and Drummond's not clearing the glass, Gasol isn't known to be the best rebounder in the world. And if we're going to have someone clog up the paint, it better be someone that is finishing out possessions on the defensive side or hitting the offensive glass. And it wasn't Harrell. It was just Drummond. And I can't take it anymore, especially as someone that lost a shit ton of money on the Lakers tonight. I was really banking on a lineup swing, if you will, kind of swinging for something a little bit different. And it felt like he just resorted to do it safe in the form of a kind of hampered KCP, a Markieff Morris, which he probably believed is the solution to stretch the floor without Anthony Davis out there. He can be a big guy, which can help us on Ayton if Drummond's down there. It just doesn't solve any of their issues. And at the end of the day, it's got to be 5 out, 0 in. LeBron, do your thing. And if you want to drive and kick, we're willing to give up whatever we need to on the defensive side, because at this point, there is no one on that Laker team on defense. If Anthony Davis is not the guy, there's no one else that I trust to protect the rim.
I agree. And going back to your point earlier with like Schroeder, like if AD is out game 6 and Schroeder and Kuzma play the way, I mean, like Schroeder had a great game 2 and 3. But if he plays like how he did tonight and how he did in game 1, like we're going to see the same thing, in my opinion, that we saw tonight, especially if no one's hitting their shots. Like LeBron's giving everyone open looks, and it's just, I was like I'm shocked whenever they're like shooting. I'm like, that's in. But they're just not knocking them down, and like the Suns just got the better of them today.
So let's just use game 5 as our sample size, not even any of the games before tonight. But based on what we witnessed, if we go to game 6 and Anthony Davis is not in the lineup, my question to you and everyone listening is, who is going to be, if LeBron catches a double team because he's caught fire and the Suns want the ball out of his hands, who's going to be his sidekick? Someone that can go out there and get you a bucket out of their own creation that doesn't require an amazing dime pass skip across the court from LeBron. Who is that guy? I don't know the answer to that. I think it's Kuz. I think it's THT. But they didn't start, and THT doesn't get enough run. And it's certainly not Schroeder if he's going 0 for 9 and passing up open threes. Who is the guy that can make the Suns pay for doubling LeBron? There is no answer for that right now.
I completely agree. I couldn't even answer that. I'm going to be honest with you.
That's the problem. That's the biggest problem right there, is the Lakers don't have a secondary option.
So, I mean, THT, like, I just personally am also shocked by, like, he needs to be getting more minutes. Like, whenever he's on the floor, like, even during the regular season when he played against us, he would torch us. Like, he's a lengthy player. He could finish at the rim. So I'm kind of shocked that he hasn't been able to get runs on the floor, like you said.
The man, Cam, thanks for the call, dude. The guy has been Caruso tonight. He looks like the only one that is embracing the moment from tonight's game alone. Is Caruso talented enough to be the Robin to LeBron's Batman? Yikes. Caruso, you're asking Caruso to do a lot on defense, and you need him to come out there and win the game for you on offense now too? It's almost like these having so many options is usually a good thing. But in this case, Vogel he's not forced to play Harrell. He's not forced to play THT. He's pushed the wrong buttons tonight. Doesn't mean he won't in game 6, but feels like it's, at the end of the day, it's just going to take something special from LeBron. That's a lot to ask, even without CP3 out there, because that Suns team with campaign's not going to lose anything. Ahmed, how are we? I can hear you. What's up?
Yeah, basically my question, I mean, we saw how, like, good the Nets were, especially in that fourth quarter, and I just wanted to ask, what do you see, like, this, I guess, the projection for the Bucks matchup? Because it probably is, like, might be the best matchup we have in the playoffs so far.
How soon we forget that the Nets played a game tonight. It seems like it's swept under the rug for good reason, because we all knew they were going to win that anyway. But Of course, the matchup between the Bucks and the Nets is arguably the best possible, especially if Embiid's not 100%. The winner of this game could potentially win the damn title. Excuse me, the winner of this series could win the title. And it's brilliant from an on paper X's and O's standpoint, just because everything that the Brooklyn Nets have, I can find someone on the Bucks roster that can either match up with them. You're never going to stop them, but if you handpicked every single player in the league, not on the Brooklyn Nets, to guard Harden, Kyrie, and KD, other than Kawhi, there's only so many dudes that I would pick over Drew Holiday, who would be my number one pick to guard Kyrie. Giannis would be my number one pick to guard Kevin Durant, and he proved that blocking his shot during the regular season, that he's the only human on earth that can ever do that. Jalen did it once, but let's be honest. And then I have PJ Tucker on the bench that has played with James Harden, that knows every single one of his moves. It doesn't mean it's going to work, but tell me someone who's more knowledgeable of James Harden's game and has the skill set defending positions 1 through 5 and being the center in a small ball to go out there and guard James Harden. The Bucks have quite literally the number one choice for every single dude that I would choose to guard those three.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like this series, like that series, a lot of times it's just going to be KD doing that, like post up at the free throw line basically and just shooting over PJ Tucker or Giannis, whatever happens. And just the defenders like shaking their heads being like, what do I do with that guy? Because like I remember, I think it was the 2018 Western Conference Finals, PJ Tucker played phenomenal defense on Kevin Durant almost every single possession. But KD would just hit that, jumper over the top of him because he's 7 feet tall. And, PJ Tucker just shaking his head like, what do I do with this guy?
And I think it was the first national television game on that Sunday between the Bucks and Nets in which they had PJ mic'd up and he was guarding Kevin Durant at the time. And if y'all remember this moment when he was like, because remember, they played at Texas together. They go way back. And he goes, I watched the film on you. When did you get that left hand something? It might have been like a step back. And so PJ Tucker knows the game of KD. He knows the game of Harden. And is he not prime PJ Tucker anymore? Of course. I think he's in the golden years of his career. But it's just the way that they could match up. Of course, Budenholzer's offense at the end of the day, just being three happy. It would not surprise me in the least to see the Nets try and expose the absence of DiVincenzo. So that shooting guard position with Pat Connaughton's probably going to get the initial start out there. We talk about the big three all the time, but it's kind of the big four because they have the best three-point shooter in the NBA, Joe Harris, and at least statistically, and you're like, well, yeah, because he plays with the Nets. And I'm like, yeah, because he plays with the Nets and he's always wide open because he plays on the Nets. And he is 75%, it feels like, when he's open on catch and shoot. So how are they going to stick to Joe Harris, which is going to require you to face guard him? And if you face guard Joe Harris, that's one less defender which you have to help off of their big three. Now, that's a lot of pressure on PJ Tucker, Drew Holiday, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. But if there's any three combination in the NBA that can do it and doesn't need help all the time off penetration, it's a big ask, but it's those guys. That's why this series is going to be fascinating.
Yeah, and then just like one last final thing. Let's say the Nets somehow, it's entirely possible, but that they beat the Bucks. What do you think they do? Do you think they fire Budenholzer? What do you think they do in the offseason maybe? Because they do have a good roster, but like 3 straight disappointing playoff exits when you have a team like that in the Eastern Conference, front office has to be asking questions.
Yeah, they traded a lot to get Drew, and I don't know what else they can do in terms of salary cap. This would be more of like a Bobby Marks question in terms of guys they can go out there and use their provisions to go get. But I think they're stuck with this team, and I think they're going to be stuck with Budenholzer, even if that's kind of harsh. I know Budenholzer has a bad reputation amongst the fans just because he falls short, but if he were to lose to the Nets, that's a lot different than losing to the Heat in the bubble. I mean, these Nets are easily the overwhelming favorites to win the title. Any coach, even Red Auerbach coaching the damn Bucks, would probably lose, or Phil Jackson for that matter would probably still lose. Let's be honest. But I think it's going to be what makes Giannis happy. Remember, Giannis was willing to go down with Jason Kidd when he got fired because he's super loyal to his guys. And you're going to have to ask Giannis if he's cool with getting rid of Coach Bud. And I don't know their relationship because I'm not in the locker room. But there's a lot of boxes which need to be checked more than just Buck's Twitter memeing Coach Bud out of town.
Mm-hmm. All right. I appreciate it, Wap. Thanks for the call, man.
You got it. On that note, Twitter Spaces, we're going to call it an evening for tonight. If you want to come hang out in the post game, I will be on Twitter Live and also on Twitch. Come on over and hang out with us. We usually shoot the shit for a couple of minutes. I'll take your questions, and we'll go from there. See y'all. I like the the chat when he's ours now. Drop it, Ranger. He's ours now. You don't know the joke. I gotta turn on the lights. Somebody suggested D'Antoni be the Bucks head coach. What's up, after party? Hit the lights. Interesting evening tonight, folks. Interesting game. I'm a little I kind of undersold being upset with the Lakers because I had a lot of money on them. People are like, you bet on this game. Why'd you bet on? I bet that I took them +5, okay? So I had 5 points thrown at me, and I really thought we'd get the LeBron game tonight. That was my reason for doing it. Thought they'd respond like they always have. It's easy to say now, but I lost, and now I'm stuck this week because I bet the Grizzlies. Bet the Grizzlies in the first half and the second half last night, and they both squeak losses. Pissed me off. I didn't bet the damn Wizards because I couldn't get the number in against the 76ers, and they came back to win the damn half. Now I'm stuck. The more I think about it, the more I'm pissed off. Somebody asked, why am I still here? Well, that's a good question. Twitter Live. It's always quiet in Twitter Live now because most of y'all have moved over to Twitch, but we appreciate you on Twitch as always. I think I'm supposed to suggest that you follow the account if you haven't already. And if you have Amazon Prime, subscribe to us so that we can keep, if you enjoyed the calls tonight. How do I think LeBron was so successful while his teams had inside centers like Thompson even last year? He's just the answer with LeBron is he's always LeBron. He's just LeBron. I don't know how else to put it. That's always the answer. Wob, tell me why you think Dame is the best point guard in the league. I have never said that. Steph Curry would be the best point guard in the league. But Dame's certainly as close as it gets. I think Dame and Kyrie are still battling for that number 2 spot. Wow, I lost $200. I parlayed the overs of the Nets and Nuggets game. Missed by 2. Welcome to the club. Yeah, I'm down a pretty good chunk of money right now. I've had a lot of winning weeks, but it's kind of therapeutic to lose a bet instantly. You don't have to stress over it. I knew it was over before the first quarter was. It felt like the game was over. So at least I had that. The Lakers need more THT. Yes. No, I do not want to join you on the Nets winning the East, especially at that number. Are you kidding me? They're one injury away from losing a Bucks series. Someone in Twitter Live said Dennis is going to rain threes on the Lakers next year on a different team. Of course he is. After getting $100 million from the Sacramento Kings or the Orlando Magic. Somebody help out that man, Cloud Kicker 420. How does one link their Amazon Prime account? I think GG can help you. Thank you for asking. We got a Optimus Maximus is still our number one guy, 10 subs. What a night for what a night for Monte Morris. I wish it wasn't spoiled by that missed layup, because he would be a big story, maybe even more so than Dame, the way he kicked ass. But he was the direct result as to why Dame went on that spree. Because if he makes that layup, we're not having this conversation about Dame right now. How much did I bet on the Lakers? None of your business. There's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Well, you know what? How's Doge doing? Doge is flying. You know what? Now I feel better. Doge is up to 38 cents. I got a lot more in Doge, I'll tell you that much. Anyways. 144 people currently subscribed. Yeah. Hot Tub Stream at 500. Malone said he didn't want 4-point plays. Yes, I heard that in the postgame. Do you believe the Brad Stevens No. Coach Vogel's rotations are actually awful. Tonight they were. Again, Vogel has my trust. So he's proved it that you have to be willing to live because he knows what he's doing. I think he's proved that, and he deserves that right. So we're going to go down with that ship. I was in AMC. I was. But I sold it. I did make a pretty penny off of it, but... Hey, shout out to Vic Didn't Do It. Tier 1 sub. Thanks, homie. Oh, wait. I almost forgot. We need the music back. Stream beats. Stream beats. That's a good point. Before Covington blew the 2 dunks, he was having a great game. Probably true. But you know what? We won't remember it now, will we? I don't know. Don't ask about the music. It's called Stream Beats. It's random stream beats, so I don't get a DMCA. Hit the DMCA free music. Can I talk to Kuz? He seems to follow you. He does, but what do you want me to talk to him about? Play better? Okay, this song sucks though. That's right, Vic. I'm on to them, Vic. I'm not going to let them cancel us. Thoughts on a hypothetical Clips Nets finals series? Just fire versus fire. Fire versus ice. Who comes out of the West if the Lakers go down? Clippers, of course. They're the perfect team to go up against the Jazz. What is this? Knicks are -1.5 tomorrow. They should not be favored. The only reason why they're favored is because everyone's betting on the Garden, and for good reason. They may catch fire inside that building, but Knicks are going to lose in 6. So, yeah, I guess that means they win tomorrow. Then it's an easy bet. But the Hawks are a better team. So just know you're betting a team as a favorite that is worse than the team that they're playing because of a building. Just think about that before you bet your money on it. At FanDuel, of course. Gigi, I know. I used to study flags. I know, like, that's why I knew the Columbia guy was Columbia. I know pretty much, not every flag, but I could get 9 out of 10 flags of every country in the world, I bet, if you put 10 random flags in front of me. Sporkle quiz. Can I do that? There's a question. When do I begin to worry about Joel Embiid's injury? Right now? Sixers are not good without him. I have them coming out of the Eastern Conference, and I was assuming Joel Embiid would be there. They're a completely different team without him. Everything that they do on offense revolves around him getting the ball on the block. They have to completely change everything that they do. Simmons is on the ball a lot more. Now, they're playing a team that stinks. The Wizards are the worst team in the playoffs currently. But I don't know, man. Y'all like that Daryl Morey response? This is why, by the way, Jishnu, I waited until you said you were signing off before I slandered the Wizards. You're supposed to be gone. So that's your fault. Oh, yeah. So this is NBA Twitter, little trolls in NBA Twitter that like don't participate in these streams and just see half of my tweets and already have an opinion formed on me. They don't know that Daryl and I are super close. And I know he's fucking joking because I took his money in poker and he was pissed off at me. But so people read his response like, "Ooh, own that dude, own that loser." Like, y'all have no clue. Yeah, Daryl gets the show. Daryl 100% gets the show. He would probably be in here if he was up right now. Should we do a Sporkle flag quiz? I don't think that's what people want. I wonder how many of these I can get. I don't know if I can get... I think I was lying. I'm looking at it right now. I don't know if I can get 9 out of 10. Do the quiz. I told you, we're not doing closing ceremonies until the Knicks series is over because I don't want to play Gallinari. It's just going to piss me off. What do you mean? Someone said I've been on your streams for over an hour and not 1 second of Nugs talk. That's all we talked about in the first hour. Well, you know what? I'm just kind of curious, so stick around for a second here. Because now I kind of want to do this damn quiz, just to see what happens. Here. How do I get the window back up? Give me a second. Is that it? No. Window capture. Is there any... There we go. Wait, I gotta find a way to get this on the screen. Hold on. Okay. Let's see how many of these I can get. Can you all see the, No, you can't. Hold on. Can I skip? Okay. Let's just do this and see what happens. That's Egypt. That's one. That is, Morocco? Oh, shit. I gotta spell the countries right? I can't do that. That's not Morocco, is it? Oh, it's not Morocco. Damn it. I would've gotten that wrong. Can I skip this shit? Might be a Far Eastern country. Just next. Let's skip that. Colombia. Next. Is that Palestine? That is Palestine, right? Or is that Jordan? Jordan? Palestine. Yeah, okay. It's not Tunisia. Is it Yemen? Let's try Yemen. No. Oman? No. Something who's not Uzbekistan. It's not Sudan. Skip that one for the time being. Damn, some of these are hard. Maybe I can't do 9 out of 10. See, this is the one that I didn't. Yes, I knew it. Got that one. Okay, let's go. We're on a roll. Let's go. Let's go. We're on fire. Bahamas, that's easy. Let's go. I don't have the chat up, so if y'all are trying to help me cheat, I'm not doing it. I don't know this one. Next. Something's got to be Oman, Yemen, UAE. God. Damn it. Some of these are so hard. Is that what the? It's not Morocco. It's not it's somewhere near Russia. I knew it wasn't Latvia. What am I doing? That's embarrassing. Estonia? Damn it, I know this one. That's Estonia. Just as I said Estonia, how weird is that? Bermuda? No. Not Barbados. What island country are you in the Caribbean? What am I forgetting? Oh my god. It's not Trinidad. Oh. Keep going. That's not Chile. That's, can I spell? It's not the Philippines either. It's Taiwan. How do I spell these countries? What? Taiwan. Taiwan. There we go. Okay, I knew it. Don't know that one. Israel. Oh, Mongolia? Tell me I got that right. Ah! Damn it. This music's making it even worse. Romania. Easy. Turkey. Greece. Let's go. Tunisia. Let's go. Poland. Wait. It's not Poland. Oh, it's opposite. It's not Latvia, just to make sure it's not a color thing. It's God, who are you? Georgia. Wow. Damn. I'm gonna have to move on. It's not Senegal. Is that Vietnam? Laos? Cambodia? Ah. It's one of those. Fiji. Is that? What is it? Wait. Yeah, it's Fiji. Dragon. What's a dragon? Are y'all enjoying this? I don't even know. I'm not looking at the Twitch room right now, so. Damn, I should know that one. Norway. Uruguay. Let's go. Let's go. We're on a roll. Let's go. African country. Zambia. Ah! Chad? No. Not Congo. It's not the Congo. Damn. Damn, I really want to get better at this. Croatia. Let's go. UAE? No. No. Don't know that one. Easy. Easy money. Let's go. Let's go. Oh. Kazakhstan. How do I spell Kazakhstan? Got it. Let's go. Is that the Philippines? Oh, let's go. Fucking knew it. I'm on fire right now. European country. What European country are you? It's not Luxembourg, is it? Is it? That sure is close. No, it's not. Damn, you see how close I am? I know my shit. Except for all the ones that I'm skipping. Wales? England? What flag is that? Not Scotland. It's English, clearly. What English colony is that? I have no clue. Senegal. Let's go. France. Let's go. Costa Rica? Let's go. Don't know that one. South Africa? Yeah, pretty. Canada, let's go. Don't know that one. Damn, that's a Caribbean country, I got a feeling. Philippines. How do I spell it? It's not the Philippines. It's Thailand. It is Thailand. I'm on one. I skipped Morocco after naming every country in Morocco. Oh, I know this one. Holy, y'all are gonna be so impressed. Angola. Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go! Hell yes. Iraq. Easy money. That's not Chile. That's, it's not Paraguay. Who are you? Not, obviously not Peru. Just keep moving for the sake of... Very frustrated. Venezuela, let's rock. Let's fucking do this. How many people have I lost in the chat from this? Who knows? Romania. Romania. What? Is that not Romania? Wait a second. Who are you? What? Blue, yellow, red. It is Romania. 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 It's not... That counts. That's Romania. Blue, yellow, red. It's Romania. On fire. Let's rock. What South American country is that? That has the Colombian flag. We already did Colombia. Serbia? Let's go. Portugal? That's me. Sounds like I'm playing Final Fantasy right now. I know that one if you gave me time. I know this one too. Vietnam, how about that shit? How good am I? Is that Ivory Coast? Or Ireland? Ivory Coast! Oh, there's Ireland! I'm on fire! I'm calling them now Barbados! Woo! I know Lithuania when I see it. Let's go, me. Let's go, me. Finland. Tunisia. Damn. Morocco. Morocco. I can't spell. Algeria. Let's fucking go! India. Switzerland. Belgium. Germany. God, I'm on fire. Spain. How many of you people are still in here watching me do this, by the way? Oh, we lost 50 people. Ukraine? Let's go, me. Estonia. That's a... It's not Latvia. It's, Slovenia? What former Soviet Union country are you? I know you're one of them. It's not Georgia. Denmark. Clearly a Russia country. It's not Russia. It's Iran. Morocco. Cameroon. Let's go. Poland, finally. I know this one. What's that country called? We already did Fiji, didn't we? It's not New Zealand. Is it coloring thing? Maybe? No, it's Tanzania? No? Oh, that's what that last one was. It's something in the South Pacific. It's not the Solomon Islands. It's, What country am I missing down there? Tasmania? Whatever. Estonia. Damn it. Hungary. Damn it. Belarus. Thought that was it. Luxembourg. How do I spell it? Luxembourg. B-U-R-O-G. I knew it. Let's go, me. We're back. We back. We did Russia. Oh, I used to know this one. Easy. Make it difficult on me. We did... Wait, that's Palestine? What is that? Oh my. Yeah. We did. I'm running out of time. God, hungry. Oh, it's Taiwan. Philippines. I can't spell it. Ah! Jamaica! Oh, 68. 61%. How did we do, folks? Wait. Am I about to blow this? Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Oh, Nepal. You're right. That was fucking Nepal. Sorry. Malaysia. Oh. Damn. Malaysia. I guess I don't know them as well as I thought. Malaysia and Nepal I should have gotten. Damn. It was an Andre Drummond type of performance. Oh, I got 34%. The average score was 61. Average score 61. Oh, damn. Oh, it was Prussia. Damn. Wow. I guess I'm not as smart as I thought. Shocker. Someone on the internet claims to be an expert at something and gets 34%. Whoa. Ace 4. Appreciate it, bro. I will take it Ace 4 as if you enjoyed our Sporkle. We can do a Sporkle now in every part of every late night show. Just pick a topic. Some of the world. Huge W's to Ace 4, who has overtaken second place in the stream chat. In the stream chat subs. Big W's. W's all around for Ace 4. Western Hemisphere wob. Oh yeah, it would be a lot better if I got multiple choice. You know what? I will guarantee I can beat 70% with multiple choice because it's just not coming to my mind. But if I saw it written out, I would know the answer. Like I would know that's Malaysia if you told me it's one of 4 answers. Keep the link, flagpedia.net. Guarantee. What was my major in college? Flag studying. Y'all be talking big shit. You're good when you get the answer? Y'all be talking shit. I'm more than happy to turn this into a challenge. No, actually, U.S. flags I can't do, but I can do capitals guaranteed. I can do capitals in seconds. Here's what I'll do, folks. If I can't get... Y'all propose something. If I can't do the United States 50 capitals in my 10-minute allotment, y'all go ahead. I know I can get it. Yes, the Jazz will close it out. Are we still talking basketball right now? 10 minutes for 50 states. Yeah, that's what the timer is. Gift 5 subs to my own channel? How do I do that? If I can't... Okay. Click on gift a sub. Well, whatever it is, I know I'm going to win, so... This is what we should do. I'm going to set it up like this, all right? Because I want to be able to... Doesn't even matter. I'm just going to own your ass anyway. Here we go. Hold on. I want to make this a little bit smaller so that you can also see me. Own all of you. How do I make it? Hello there. Okay. Okay. Are you guys there? Right, it says 10 minutes. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter because I'm going to do it anyway. Here we go. Time to bitch y'all's asses. Watch this shit. Damn it. What is Knoxville? Chattanooga? How do I spell it? Fuck. Nashville. Let's go. Columbus. Let's go. Is it Albuquerque or Santa Fe? Let's just type in Santa Fe because it's easier to spell. Oh, look at that shit. Virginia is Richmond, is it not? Albany. Columbia. Not Wichita. Wichita. It's Topeka. It's Texas is Austin. Florida is Tallahassee. Oh, I spelled that right. Baton Rouge. Washington is it's not Seattle. It's not Tacoma. It's fucking not Helena. It's what's that? Oh God, Olympia. Oh my God, I'm so good at this. I told y'all are in trouble. Minneapolis. Is it not? Did I spell it right? St. Paul. It is St. Okay. Trenton. Missouri is... This is always a tough one. Jefferson City? Oh, I own you all. Dover. If I get this, y'all have to do 5 subs back. Honolulu. It's a 5 sub bet. Salt Lake City? Okay. Oklahoma is not Tulsa. It's not Oklahoma City either. It is Oklahoma City. Okay. Des Moines. Connecticut is Hartford. West Virginia is... Y'all wanted to do this for 6 minutes, by the way. I can't type that fast. Charleston, is it not? Rhode Island is Providence. Montana is Helena. Massachusetts is Springfield. Oh, wait, uh-oh. It's not Boston. It is. What? Boston's the capital? I didn't know that. New Hampshire is... oh, God. It's, uh-oh. Hanover. Oh, shit. Shit. It's not Montpelier because that's fucking, I'll come back to you later. Oh my God, it's something. I know what it is. I'll come back later. Fayetteville. Is it not? It's not Little Rock. Oh, okay. Montgomery? No, that's North Dakota. Somebody in Twitter Live, fucking tell me what the capital of New Hampshire is. Twitch won't know. Tell me. South Dakota is, not Sioux Falls. It's not Bismarck. It's, Pierre, let's go. Portland. No. Bangor. What other cities are in Maine? Bangor. not Portland. It's not Bangor. Oh my god. Those cities are in fucking Maine. What about Maine? Come back to it. Madison. Let's go. Springfield. Mississippi is Jackson. Michigan is Lansing. Oregon is it's not Portland, obviously. It's Eugene. It's not Corvallis. Salem. Let's go, me. It's not Fargo. It's Bismarck, isn't it? Let's go. Maryland is, well, no, it's, oh my god. The fuck is Maryland? Why am I... This should be easy. Why am I drawing a blank? Bingo. Annapolis. Anchorage. No, it's Juneau. I was there. I know it. California. Sacramento. Come on, I got 4 minutes. Wyoming. Cheyenne. Pennsylvania. It's not Philadelphia. What is it? Oh, what's that city in the middle of the freaking state? It's not Scranton. It's, not Pittsburgh. It's, where, it's not State College. What's the, something Berg. Harrisburg. Let's go! Montpelier. Kentucky is Lexington. No. Kentucky is, Louisville. There are only, someone said there are only 3 cities. Kentucky is, oh my god, what is the capital of Kentucky? Lexington. Frankfurt. Let's go, me. Georgia is, it's not Atlanta. It is Atlanta. Wait, it's not Reno. It's not Las Vegas either. It's, what's that weird city in Nevada called? That's the capital. Come back. Come on, we're almost there, people. I got 2.5 minutes. Is it Carson City? No, it's not. It is! Oh, baby! Raleigh. Omaha. Lincoln. Oh, it gives you the little location? I didn't know that. That's the help that I need. Arizona. Tucson. It's not Phoenix. It is Phoenix. Okay. Okay. Hanover. Hanover. Oh my God. What is New Hampshire? Oh no. Concord. I knew it. And now Maine. I did Augusta, didn't I? Oh my god, 90 seconds. The pressure. Oh my god. Is it not? It is Augusta! Was I spelling it wrong? Suck on that. Suck on that, Twitch. How do y'all like it? What do you think about that, Twitter Live? There was no cheating done. There was no cheating done. There was no cheating done whatsoever. 5 subs owed this way. Nope. Nope. There's no one even in the Twitter Live chat. They would never do that. They don't cheat. Right? Y'all, hey, y'all in Twitter Live, tell Twitch. They're going to come in here and double check. Say that you guys didn't cheat. It was not a Mickey Mouse win. Oh, Optimus Maximus with 5. Yo. Yo, 5 more from Optimus Maximus. Who are you, dude? Who are you? See? 100% legit. Send him here. No help at all. Y'all may have cheated, but I didn't look in there. Nope, not a Mickey Mouse win. No, he's lying. He didn't give me every answer. That was still close. Hey, Optimus Maximus is up to 15 subs. That dude rules. We're up to 156 subscribed. We are about 350 away from Hot Tub Stream. No, I can't do that. You can't cheat and win a Sporkle. That's why the timer is so tight. I don't know. We'll come up with a... I'm not that good at trivia. I just know state capitals and flags. That's it. I think that's how we should call it tonight, folks. Shout out to our man, Optimus Maximus, who is now gifted 25 subs, he says. What? Hold on a second. Yo, Max Winthrop just dropped a fucking bomb in here. 10 tier 1 subs. Holy shit. GG's all around. We have a new boss. Twitter Live. Y'all have no clue what's going on in here. People are dropping heat in here. We're up to a level 5 hype train because of Max Winthrop. Huge W's. Somebody said that's it. Seals the deal. I've been a WOB fan for 104 years, and in all my time of being a fan, I've never seen an effort this poor. That's good copy pasta. Why is everyone putting snakes? Oh, it's Komodo hype. Yo, shout out to that guy. Add him to the list, GG. Max Winthrop. We will remember your name. You know what I need to do? I need to create like another one of those code tablets with the people who are at the top of this stream chat so that you can live forever as a part of the community, whether you can make the stream or not. I'm going to add a separate tablet to the code, and we will pay you all respect when we reintroduce the closing ceremonies following the next Hawks series. You will have your own segment in closing, and you have to gift at least 10 subs to be on the tablet. Right now we have a couple people. Maximus and Winthrop are going to be on the stone, written in blood. 5 tier 1 subs from Powwow 29. Let's go. You know what? I may change that to 5. We're bringing some fucking heat right now. I'd love to see it. Yeah, if you want to hey, Twitter Live, y'all are curious what's going on over here. There's a shit ton of people in here. Just go to my timeline and click on the Twitch link. We're at 92% on this hype train. Y'all get us to 100 before we leave. Yeah, dude, this is how cool our community is, that they're gifting out subs like this. I don't even know how to do that. But y'all take care of these mods who have been managing the damn stream now for almost 3 hours. But chat, we need emotes. Oh shit! Yo, Devi Tuna. Oh shit! I'm gonna need a. Wow, I got some work to do on this tablet, but you will be on the. That's crazy. Avalanche of fucking subs. Y'all really must want to see me in a damn hot tub. We're starting to get pretty damn close. That's crazy. 275% on a Twitch Hype Train sub. Optimus is giving out 27 total subs. That's wild. This is a great stream. Y'all always... I take care of the mods. You guys take care of other people that are consistently in here at 3:40 in the morning, East Coast time. And we're just... we're the opposite of Lord of the Flies. Y'all don't have to do this, by the way. I don't want to make you sound like I'm pressuring you. But it's certainly thankful. You gotta prove that doing a 5-minute plank. I can't plank for 5 minutes. I can plank for 2 minutes. That's a long time. I do not have a dad bod. I will plank at 250. Guaranteed. We love you, Western Hemisphere, Wob. I don't know what's so good about this stream compared to other Twitch streams, but we certainly appreciate you guys. I'm sure a lot of people on Twitch are like, what? He doesn't do anything. He's just talking. Everyone else on Twitch is like playing games or watching something. I'm just sitting here trying to chat it up. Correct. Plank at 250, hot tub at 500 for sure. Guaranteed. Yo, Maximus is gonna go broke. Maximus should get his own like 5-minute segment where he just takes over the show. Oh, we got a level 5 hype train emote. Here we go. It's a chihuahua. Choo choo. Hype scream. Let's go. Yeah, I'm shuffling my chips right now. Optimus, fucking goat, bro. I don't know who you are. Everyone appreciates you for gifting all these subs. I don't know what that means they can do. But everyone's a subscriber now. Emotes are I got a message from Twitch that says emotes are currently being delivered to the users. Twitter Live, you probably have no clue what's going on right now, but I'm sorry. We're putting in work over here. Is it not emotes? Emotes. Emotes. It's emotes. We need channel emotes. 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 Okay, I got it. It's a fake word, like GIF. Yeah, anyone that says GIF. No thanks. We make emotes all day, but Wob has to put them in. What does that mean? How do I give you guys those things? Shout out all y'all. Shout out Optimus Maximus. You need to commission someone to make custom emotes for you. Do you want to do that? Is that something I don't know? Of course, dude. Optimus front of the line on any radio roulettes. You just have to tell me what your Twitter name is. Absolutely. I will play favorites. What the hell is a raid? Yeah, dude, Optimus is our 2018 LeBron. He's 2012 LeBron. He's 2016 LeBron. He's all the LeBrons. Well, you let me know. How about that? Whoa, what are these raid things? I don't like raiding. I'm watching a lot of Vikings right now, and they raid. When they raid, they kill and pillage. I don't want to kill and pillage anybody. Hey, Optimus, you can come in and drop your opinions whenever you please. You just gotta let me know. Yeah, I need Optimus's Twitter name. Probably a crypto whale. This is at Chase Stoppera. The at is Chase Stoppera. All right. Well, next time you're in the chat, Chase, we got you. I got you. Now I'm following you. Nice to meet you. Shout out to Chase Stoppera. Chase Stoppera. Stop era. Stop one of any of those. Follow that man. Follow that man. Of course, Max Winthrop. How could we ever forget about you? Don't want to make it sound like I got you. Got you, bro. We appreciate all of you, whether it's 15, 10, or 1 sub, or it's just you don't sub at all and you just watch. Everyone here has equal equity. Got you, bro. Well, let's end the stream on that. That's a good way to go out. We did some sporkles. We got some big time contributors, and we thought of a new closing ceremony segment. We will honor Chase and Max and Devi Chuna, and everyone else that sent in subs tonight. That was a good night. Good games. Good night. Until next time, my friends. Don't try and challenge me ever again on U.S. Capitals. I'll work on my flags. The goal is to get above the average. To get above the average. We'll do it again. How about that? It's a multiple choice one. A lot of games tomorrow. Y'all get some rest for the love of God. Until next time.